Hello, stream. Dins is wrong.
I'm
Hi.
He
What's
said I
worse
wouldn't
than
do
being
it.
wrong? Being wrong on stream.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to some D&D.
That time of week again.
It is. It's the
So-
Sunday. D&D Sunday.
I don't know if you guys read, but I took basically detect magic at will and mage armor at will for my invocations, so we good.
Nothing else magical for the rest of the campaign.
As long as I live.
As long as you live, that's all it's needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paguglia was definitely vain enough to believe that.
Yeah. I agree. Okay, so start off a little bit of a recap. What happened last time? And I try and get the link to the playlist. Okay, cool. So last time,
I too am excited to find out what happened last time.
So how does
Since
this
none
work?
of us were there for it.
it's true.
Are you gonna give us like a
mystery.
watch together link or something, or how are we gonna see this?
What happened last time? I don't have like a animated thing or anything. For what happened last time.
You said you were gonna cut the video and make a little. Okay.
What?
Oh, it's fine.
I said nothing of the sort. I am going to start doing a
Verbally.
rerun of the last session before we start, so everyone knows. That'll be a thing we'll do. But also, recap last time on the end of time, session 1. You guys all sailed to Alera. You had your little moment on the boat. Everyone kind of got to know each other a little bit. Scuglio drank some laxative that he didn't know was laxative. Thought it was coffee. It was not coffee, 100% not coffee, but he might think it's coffee. It's totally fine, just odd coffee. You guys do that. You got onto land, went all the way to Ventfall. You got to the tavern. FaZe did her FaZe thing, kind of explained the name a little bit. Everyone got it. Yay. You guys went to the tavern, had a little talk with Greg about the plan. You did the false retreat, which is essentially just everyone retreating in orderly fashion back to base or back to Ventfall. You went out, started that plan. About maybe 30 minutes into the plan, there was a flare that went up. Greg was like, "Hey, you guys, can you guys go deal with that?" One of our friends, you now know as Bleb, is in trouble. So you guys make your way all over. You come across some undead. You met a very interesting figure that looks like Shadow. And as far as you know, its name is the Shadow. And then you got a book. You
Got a book.
The Shadow seemingly killed a Minotaur, but then the Minotaur came back, and you all have a book. The Minotaur is, as far as everyone knows, dead now. The Minotaur skeleton. Then you came across a group of skeletons and zombies and everything fighting what you now know as Bleb. Spuglio came over and intimidated them all away.
Yeah.
And you met Bleb.
Like a boss.
Awesome.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. We ended off last session with you guys all heading back to the inn. Everything went as planned, as far as everyone knows, as far as the false retreat went. And there we are. That's where we will be starting. At the inn.
Okay, so we're just coming into the inn?
Correct. That's where we ended up leaving it, as we kind of started
Okay.
coming
Traveling
into
back.
the inn.
Gotcha.
You all
So
kind of...
is there anyone there to meet us?
Yeah, so you
Or are we
all...
just
Yeah, I was
Greg,
gonna say any familiar faces.
as you and... the group and Bleb came into the town, and towards the end, Greg was there to meet you guys and kind of say... You all came in. Greg kind of looks at you and Bleb and says, "Thank you so much for helping Bleb. I really appreciate it. He can get himself into a lot of trouble. If everything went off successfully, if you guys want to come into the inn and maybe rest a little bit, I could understand that. You look a little bit beat up, some of you. One of you guys look a little bit on the weakish side." Kind of looks at Spaguglia.
Kiva's kind of like just silent and acknowledging, and is like, as soon as it feels socially acceptable, she's gonna make a beeline for her room so she can look at her book.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
Spaguglio's gonna look at Greg and he's gonna be like, "Hey, can we maybe like just talk, like just me and you, like man to man about something?"
Sure. Sure. There'll be more than enough time for that if you want to. We'll just go into the inn and then, yeah, we can, while your friends get situated. Sure.
If you guys want to do something first, do it. What I want to talk about is not going to take a long time, but I'm assuming you guys would get to do whatever you want to do before I walk off with Greg here.
So, I guess it's going to turn to Crealis. So, Crealis, it's getting to be pretty chilly, and I was just noticing that it doesn't seem like you have much in the way of jacket or anything to keep warm.
No, I stay warm. I stay warm. Thank you.
Oh, okay. But
Shut down.
I think about it for a second. It's like, okay, well, I'm not sure what to say, but I want to make a hood for you because I need something to do while we're not doing anything. So, I make you a little hood with a cape. Would you wear it?
That sounds really nice. Thank you.
You guys like visibly relieved, like he did something nice out in public and socially, and no one yelled at him for it. So, he's like, great. What color do you like? I have gray.
She kind of like nods her head. Gray is nice. I like gray.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Like, with that, Mega like stomp out. He'll get to the stairway and he's like, "We have rooms here."
Greg kind of looks up.
Looks around. Yeah.
Greg's like, yeah, you guys are all set. 4 rooms in the back.
Oh.
If you go up the stairs, there's 4 right next to each other.
He's like, "Gotcha, thanks."
Anytime.
He'll stomp off to his room real quick, and then about 5 minutes later he'll come back. But I'll let someone else talk first.
So
Yeah, no, Kiva will just kind of go to her room, and she's just gonna like slowly and meticulously start looking at this book.
okay, so first we're gonna do the Greg Spaguglio thing
Go wrong.
because this book is important. So we'll do the book after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair.
So after Greg, tells Mega where his room is and everything, he kind of looks at you like, what do you want to talk about?
So, I've been talking with my buddies, and let's say that one of the guys in the group. Look, are we gonna get paid? Let's start there. When are we gonna get paid?
Soon, I imagine you'll be able to keep anything you find on your adventures, as far as money goes. It's your guys's.
Let's say one of the people in the group needs a lot of money, like soon, and he just kind of he visibly thinks for a second. He's like, it would just, if I think Mega would be upset if he didn't pay off his debt and all of his sheep died because of it. So if we could help Mega out with a lot of money, that would be really cool, because he'd be sad.
He kind of
his
gives
sheep died.
he kind of gives you a look. It's like a look of understanding. Kind of gives you a nod, puts a hand on your shoulder, and is like, I'll make sure that Mega gets a little extra money to make sure that he can cover his sheep.
He's gonna need a lot, a lot of extra money.
We'll talk about the details tomorrow.
Preferably before the end of the month.
I might need to move around some funds for that to happen, but I will try my best to help out Mega with his sheep.
How close are we to the end of the month?
Like halfway through the month.
Preferably before the end of the month. He's got to send it home.
We'll do what we can.
That would be
We
really
had-
good if you could do that for Mega.
We'll talk about this tomorrow. We just had a very rough battle, and tonight is a night for celebration and rest. So we'll think about. We will do what we can tomorrow and go over the details about Mega. You and me will talk about Mega and his sheep's money tomorrow.
That would
so
be-
right
that would
about
be
that
cool.
time is when Mega would be coming back in. Is any chance that he heard his name being mentioned?
Roll perception.
I'm not quiet. I'm not quiet about
It is.
this.
I know you're not.
It's a bit of a busy end, but yeah, it's not gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard your name near the end of that for sure. The 16.
Okay. So he'll come, come over. He has no need to be quiet now, so he's not at all. He comes up. He's holding a pair of knitting needles that are basically the size of your weapons, Spaguglio,
Nice.
and like this giant, skein of sheep's yarn that looks incredibly soft. And he's like, "Hi, did I hear my name? What's going on?"
Oh no, you must have
Needed.
misheard. We weren't talking about you.
Oh, okay.
I said I could go for a Mega beer right
And-
about now.
And
Oh,
I
man.
agreed and said I could also go for a mega beer for sure. And Greg just kind of starts
I
walking
could
over to
also
the
go
bar
for
at
a
that
mega
point.
beer.
Well, then join me at the bar.
Your name is unfortunate for describing things.
At least when they're describing things, it's big things.
Very big things.
Very
We're
mega
gonna do
things.
big. We're gonna do very big things. Hey, listen. If you were to come into some money, you'd help a friend out, right?
I don't see why not.
Like if you came
Why,
into
does
a
Creoles
lot of
need
money.
money?
No, like if you came into money, you would definitely help your friends out if you got like a lot of money before the end of the month.
I suppose I would. Sure.
And you
Who
would.
needs money?
Oh, I heard that. I heard Kiva might need some money, or all of her druid friends are going to die at the end of the month if she doesn't come up with like 50,000 gold. Maybe.
Wow.
I don't know. She
Take a look.
tends to keep to herself. I wouldn't say anything. I wasn't supposed to tell anybody.
Well, that's bad manners, but I understand. Looking out for your friends is the best thing that you can possibly do. But
I agree.
No, it's
If
think,
Kiva finds out about this conversation, she's gonna be pissed. She's going to have somebody's head.
I love how.
Creolis is kind of like around.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's hearing this.
Roll a perception for me. Why not? Let's see. With an 18,
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
you totally you got most of everything that was said.
Okay.
I was actually
I think-
surprised.
But she really-
I'm envisioning like Creolis, like after Mega, is talking about the cloak. She grabs some kind of drink and flutters up to like the beams at the top and sits up there. So
Just
hanging
listen.
Listen,
out up there,
don't-
hearing all this.
Don't tell her I told you. The real question is, did he hear me just say a few minutes ago that I needed the money for Mega? And now he's hearing me say that I need it for Kiva.
Greg was starting to walk to the bar. You don't know if he heard it or not.
Ah, good. Good.
You do not know. Okay.
all right. So yeah, Spaguglio, I completely understand. This will stay just between you and me.
I would
now I-
prefer that.
Yeah. So I got something to do right now, but Lauren, can you grab me a beer and then bring it over to me? I gotta get busy here.
You want? I mean, I can carry a
Thanks.
beer the size that I can carry. Is that okay?
Megan's like,
Is it worth it?
I'll get it myself.
Sorry, man. I just
It's okay. I forget size differences and everything.
Yeah, you're like at least 3 inches taller than me.
Yes, at least.
Maybe 3.5.
I wouldn't stretch it.
Omega will go get his beer. Stomp. He'll look around. Find Crealis up in the rafter and go over and like, if there's someone sitting. Is there anyone like sitting like around where underneath Crealis would be?
Would you have picked, Crealis, would you have picked a part of the inn that was like emptier?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Okay, so then no, there's no one under Crealis at the moment.
So Omega will stomp over, sit down, heavy, put the beer down, and get his big knitting needles out and just start going to town. Click, 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 click. Clear that he's done this
Knit
before.
pearl, knit pearl, knit pearl.
Nice.
Guglio's gonna go back towards the rooms, but he's not gonna go into his room. How are the rooms laid out in such a way that there's a hallway I could pace in?
Yeah, so you go up the stairs, and there is just a hallway of rooms on both sides all the way down.
Okay, I would go to where like my room presumably is, and I would just start pacing like back and forth up and down the hallway, saying profanities in Gnomish, not yelling them, but just kind of like
Under your breath.
yeah. I guess loud enough that people would hear them, but like if they were beside me, but not like the people down the stairs, they're gonna hear me. Like I'm talking at a normal volume.
The hallway's empty at the moment.
Okay.
Everyone's currently
Okay.
drinking or reminiscing or whatnot.
Okay.
I mean, I'm in my room and I can probably hear it.
Is it loud enough it would go through a door?
I mean, I'm not being quiet, but I'm not screaming.
Okay. You probably hear
So,
like little
if the-
tiny bits and pieces of like Gnomish profanities.
Mhm.
Do you know Gnomish?
I don't think I know Gnomish.
Then
It's
you don't
one
know
of
its
the few
profanities. You
languages
could
I
just
don't
be,
know.
could just be yelling
I don't
random
know its
things.
profanities. I'm sure I can assume that it might be something
Well, it's
maybe not so
Spaguglio. It's
tasty.
probably not something good.
Exactly.
Don't worry, if you don't know it, give it a month, you'll learn.
Exactly. Doesn't take long to pick up those profanities.
It's true. Okay. Book time. So, head back
Let's
to your
go.
room. And what are you exactly going to do?
So first of, I mean, so she has this book and she knows that this book is probably full of most likely necromancy stuff because that's kind of what's been going around, which isn't her shtick, but like magic is magic. She'll probably be able to kind of puzzle through it. Really kind of just wants to slowly, very carefully, investigate it and see what's inside of it, if there's any like useful information about like the surrounding area, about like what's been going on. If it's just like a spell book, then she'll like be extra careful and make notes about these spells and what they do potentially, stuff like that. So she's just kind of meticulously searching through it to see if there's useful information.
Okay. So you take the book out of your bag. You are hearing the whispers even louder in the back of your head, just saying, "Help me, help me, help me." You kind of run your hand over the front of it, and you just can't quite make out what's being scrawled over it and this erased continuously. And as your hand kind of goes to like take the book and to slowly start to lift it, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as you start to open the book
Okay.
slowly.
Uh-oh.
Where's my saving throws here?
The saving
dear.
throw.
Why is this?
Saving throw
It
is to
should be
the
under
right.
attributes.
It's so you have strength and then you have the right small number as your saving throw.
Oh, that's the saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay. So wisdom. saving throw. I see how it's done.
Yeah. So, as you open the book and start to turn the page, you just start to the pages just keep turning and turning and turning, and it looks like you're not getting through any of the book. You're not noticing any words written on it, but you can't seem to stop turning. And as this is happening, a sensation of you, like, your very soul starts to almost get pulled into the book. At the very last second, you pull away and don't quite, like, you feel like you barely resisted something at the very last second, but a part of you is almost now lost in the book. And at that time, your eyes almost glaze over and you kind of go into a trance. In front of you is no longer the inn. You actually are standing. You are, how tall are you? Like a little bit over 6 feet?
She's like 7 feet and like
7
3
feet? Okay.
inches.
You notice that you are a little bit shorter.
She's tall.
And you are standing over a elvish town. The elvish town you see in front of you looks to be in pretty, like, bad disarray. Fires all throughout. Buildings and rubble buildings kind of knocked over, rubble in places, people trying to, like, put out fires and try and fix things up as quickly as possible. You look over to your left and down and you see a hooded figure, probably around 3 feet, and you kind of look at it and you say, looks like number 2 has made a mess again. Things we'll just have to clean up after it. And you look and you kind of point out with your hand, and you notice that your arm is completely engulfed, is a complete shadow. And you kind of make a pointing gesture towards the center. We'll probably have to set up shop there. Ryan just, I don't know, fix whatever she's done. And in your left hand, you see a sharp knife, kind of throwing knife. This is her calling card, so she must have been here. And the dwarf kind of looks up at you. She did make another mess, didn't she? I guess we just have to kind of clean it up. What do you say we do this time, Shadow? Kind of looks down. Well, set up shop, do our normal experiments, and then on our way. And the trance is gone. You look around, you look at both of your arms, you're back to normal, you're back to your same height. You feel like you just witnessed the memory of some other creature as the book shuts with a thud.
Okay. Can I potentially do a little insight on myself to see if maybe like I saw anything like specifically like iconic or recognizable, something potentially familiar within that memory?
So yeah, we'll do actually, as the book closes, the exact location of the memory is vivid in your mind. You've never been there for ever in your entire life, but you know that the name of the town is Hatterim or Harterim, and you know that that is where the memory took place, and you can literally pinpoint exactly its location in Alara, as if you have been there
Okay.
and stepped foot there.
Gotcha. Do I get any feelings after this subsides? Like, am I feeling like anxious or fear, or like, is there anything that like being this other person for a minute like made me feel?
You feel, while you were the other person, you felt arrogant, very confident, and like a little bit of it. It's not really anxious or fear, more annoyed would be a feeling while you were witnessing this memory.
Oh my god, you were Spagoolio.
More annoyed than anything. Like, God, I gotta go clean up another mess. You, the little bit that you have retrieved, a little bit of. Roll an insight check, real quick, to see exactly how much information you were able to glean while you were in there. Okay, a little bit you were able to retrieve was that it was a memory. You know, it was the memory of a shadowy figure, and you know that he was going after whatever number 2 is. He was trying to bring back whatever number 2, and number 2 had made a mess, and he was going to clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is something that kind of sticks out in your mind, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And the dwarf was with him, which you already knew.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Kiva's gonna like take out some of her parchment and write all of these things down. What things looked like, the feelings, the thoughts, the words that were spoken, and just like write it down in her own notebooks, just so she can kind of like remember this for later. And she's gonna make a point to potentially head to this city at some point.
Gotcha.
Still alive.
Just have to make a note real quick. Okay.
And I mean, after this, she's probably just going to continue like studying. And especially after this experience, she'll probably like really just hunker down in her room. And hopefully there's like a balcony or something where she can like go and study the stars for a second to just like recenter herself.
It's not a super flashy inn, but there's like a group balcony. So you can kind of go out
Okay.
at the end of the hallway. There's like a balcony, that little area. For all
She's
the
gonna
rooms.
like take all of her notes and just like camp out there, just so she can kind of like recoup mentally from
Okay.
this experience.
So I guess you'd have to walk by me.
Yeah, you see Spaguglio just like
Yeah,
walking
but
back
she's
and
gonna,
forth
like,
and cursing.
totally
But
ignore
you probably
you.
don't
It's
notice
okay
that.
because he's gonna be like, "Do you have a map?
You just go
She'll
right.
kind of just like mutter, "Of course I have a map,"
Do you have an extra map?"
and just like, "Not for you."
Fair.
And just like continue outside.
That was beautiful.
Nice. Fair. Not for you. Fair.
Kiva's full of sass.
Okay. So,
I'm looking for a map.
anyone else downstairs want to do anything, or we eventually just kind of wrapping it up and going to bed?
After Mega makes some headway on his, hood cloak that he's, whipping out, quick in his, quality as he can, he is gonna think to go order some food and get some food, and he'll think, my team hasn't eaten either, so he'll actually get 4 portions.
Nice.
Are they all
And-
mega-sized portions?
Yes, yes, they are.
They're mega meals.
At some
TM.
point, Baguglio would have gone downstairs, and I'm assuming somebody would have given him a map out of sheer pity.
Yeah, actually, Greg gives you a map.
Just more or less a map of the world where we are,
Yeah,
like versus where I came from.
I would.
And
I would-
he's frantically going through his calendar and looking at the map, and he's
Gotcha.
not happy. But he's trying to math out how far away we are from home. Even though he took a boat and he should know, he's trying to
It was
figure out how
multiple
long it would
boats.
take. Okay, but he should know. He did the voyage not that long ago.
That is
He's
true.
trying to figure out how long it would take to get back home, looking through his calendar, looking at the map. But nothing more interesting than that.
Something
Okay.
may have distracted him.
Nice.
What?
The coffee may have distracted him.
It's true. The coffee does that.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Valid. At some point during your knitting, Coriolis, just flutters down to the table to take a closer look, just like watching your hands flash as it's just created before your eyes. And have you done this a lot?
Yes, I have. Make I make cloaks and woolen garments a lot during my free time at the farm.
Is there a lot of free time on the farm?
No, but it's something to do when it's dark and cold. Something else to do. It laughs to himself.
Yeah, she just continues to watch him work.
Okay. So that happens. You get your 4 mega-sized meals. Are you gonna like go try and find everyone to give something? I guess actually everyone except for Kava's downstairs right now.
Right. Oh yeah, I'd like to imagine that Spaguglio comes to the table right as the meal's getting there.
No, of
Put the
course.
mega meal in front of Spaguglio and another giant one in front of Kiva, Crealis rather, and like, I'm gonna bring this one up to Kiva. I'll be right back. And he'll leave his knitting, on the table there and go walk off holding his meal and Kiva's. He'll go up the hall to where Kiva's room is to feed her.
So you go
She's not there.
up the stairs and you notice the door is open just slightly ajar. You go in
Well,
and you kind of like, I don't know if you're gonna like knock on it or
Kinda
anything.
Well, if the door's kind of open, I'll kind of like kick the door frame a couple times and we're like, Kiva, food. You hungry?
Imagine you're saying this pretty
Listen.
loud, so you probably hear him from the balcony. Yeah.
She'll kind of just like haphazardly just like wave her hand and be like, over here.
Okay. Well, Mega will go in, but he's got his eyes closed.
Well, she's actually
He's
out.
going into the room.
She's on the balcony.
Oh, well, he already had his eyes closed by then, so
Oh dear. Kiva's just like
Where do you-
sitting there. Like at this point, when he like doesn't come to the balcony, she just kind of like looks over and sees that he's not there, and just like continues back to her work. She's just got like charts sprawled everywhere, and she's just like, okay.
Kiva, where do you want your food? And can I open my eyes?
Nothing.
You can still hear it. It's up to you whether you want to just let it go.
I can still hear it.
Yeah. I think it's pretty
I
loud.
think it's pretty loud.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I'm not in there.
oh, he'll open his eyes. He'll look around, like, oh, around, go out the hall. I assume he'll see Zara on the balcony. Oh,
She's kind of hard to miss. This massive lady with charts everywhere, with like rocks that like hold down all of the charts so they don't like blow away in the wind.
Yeah.
She just looks like
That
so
doesn't occur to
confused
me.
at you.
so he'll hold a plate of food out to her. He's like, here, I thought you might be hungry.
Thank you. She like takes it. I'll be sure to pay you back.
Don't worry about it. And he'll
Oh.
Mega will spin around and go back down the hall, down the stairs, back to where I'm sure Crealis and Spaguglio have finished off all their food already.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Spaguglio is like
He'll
has the
sit down
map
and
laid out, muttering.
Yeah, he's eaten all he will. Like he's actually eaten like a significant amount for a gnome, but it hasn't made a dent in any of it. But he's very vocal about the fact that he hasn't eaten much because it's shit. But he
I
definitely.
don't like it.
He's like, I would have
Oh,
eaten more, but
dear.
it's just terrible. I just can't stomach anymore. It's just absolute drool.
About half of Crealis's food is gone, and she's still working on the rest.
Nice.
I don't even think I got halfway through.
No,
I'm
you
assuming
probably
a
didn't.
mega portion is. I probably got through like a quarter of it. And it's just
Roughly,
terrible.
yeah. It was decent
not how
food
you
too,
cook.
but yeah, of course you would say it was terrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not how you cook bugbear. It's just not how you do it.
Mega's
Oh,
just
dear.
he'll wolf down his food and like 3 minutes and then get back to his knitting.
Was Mega here when you said that's not how you cook bugbear? Spugulio?
Probably not.
Okay.
No, he'd for comedic purposes, he would come and sit down immediately after.
Oh, okay.
Spugulio.
Okay. Okay.
And then he would eat the whole thing. He's like, wow, that was good. It's like, ugh.
Okay. So,
Mega has nothing else pressing to do. He'll work some more on the cloak, but he won't be able to finish it tonight.
For my own notes, how long would it have taken to get from Little Italy to where we are?
straight is probably 2 to 3 day boat ride, or sorry, 2.5 to 3 day boat ride.
Okay, I'll say 4, because I'm calculating it myself.
Yeah. I mean, you can roll history.
Sure. Or history sounds about right. Either
Yeah.
history or survival, one of the two.
Please survival. Why not? Because it's not like you're thinking, in my books, did I? It's more of a,
Yeah,
how long did I actually
Okay.
In
travel?
my gut.
In my guts.
I rolled a 12.
You say it's about a 4-day ride. You're not
Okay.
that far off.
Okay. Cool. That might be important.
It might. It might. Okay. So you calculate that. Mega gets most of the way through. He's probably gonna have to work a little bit up in his room on the cloak, but he'll definitely have it done by tomorrow. Because Mega is a speedy knitter. And yeah. You guys all
Cool.
kind of... Go on.
Oh, I just said cool.
Oh, cool.
That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Not allowed. So, you guys all finish up your food. Everyone kind of starts to go out of the inn. And you guys all head up. You and some other people who are also staying in the inn all head up to your rooms and sleep the night away. Everyone make sure to take a long rest. There's a long rest button in D&D Beyond. So that should instantly give you all your health spell slots back and everything.
Okay, so what? Wait. It says I still only have 16 of 17 hit points.
Even if you long rest?
Yeah.
It's that.
Did you
it's that
get
cool-
temporary HP at any point? Or no, that would be somewhere else. That would be somewhere else on.
I'll just do it manually.
Yeah, I
That's
just
cool.
put it in
Oh, and
17
it didn't reset my spell slots either. It's not letting me take a long rest, but it's okay. I did the
You-
two things
there are
manually.
There are like 3 clicks you've got to hit for the long
Yeah,
rest.
it's like
oh shit!
long
okay,
rest.
thought
I
the
just did it
count-
for you,
okay.
but it's long
yeah,
rest, take long rest, and confirm.
Yep.
Because it doesn't want you to.
I thought
it.
that the timeout. I thought that when it timed out, it would just do it. It was actually canceling. I had to click it again within 3 seconds.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought that.
I thought
too
it was
the
a
first time.
countdown, and yeah, okay.
It's
We're
a.
good.
Are you sure? Please confirm.
Are you
Yes,
good.
I am fine.
sure?
Are you
No,
sure?
no, no.
Are you sure you
No.
want to sleep?
Are you sure?
Are you really sure? But are you really, really sure?
Are you sure? Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure.
As per
I'll
as
do
per
it if I want.
usual, Kiva stays up late and sleeps in a little bit. Her 8 hours is a little skewed compared to everybody else's because stars.
You actually sleep in for roughly 8.5 hours. You're feeling a little bit tired after
Aw.
after last night. It's a little bit tired.
No, give her a short rest. We all get a long rest. She gets a short
Oh,
No.
rest.
come on.
You want to stay up late? Fine.
I mean, I would totally understand if you wanted to do that. Kiva
No.
has a job to do. She does like work.
You definitely get your long rest in, but it takes a little bit longer to
Yeah.
feel fully rested.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So
Yeah, the
everybody,
long rest is a little more sleeping, a little less light activity.
Mhm.
also. So actually, we're going to start with Kiva. You, while you're dreaming, you have a very vivid dream of just the scene from last night, except everything in your dream is like painted in red almost. Like the red is the everything that seems to kind of have an outside in red. You're in the middle of Venfall, and instead of everything victorious, you actually see like everything on fire, terrible things happening, and a form kind of appears out of it and says, I could give you the power to stop this. And then you kind of wake right up. And what would you like to do as you wake up after these vivid dreams?
Um, I mean, am I waking up in the middle of the night, or am I?
It
is
seems to
it,
be
like,
the
daytime?
morning.
Okay,
Daytime.
it seems to be the morning. Then in that case, I mean, she would first want to just do like a quick Arcana check on herself or something, just
Sure.
to like see if maybe like she had been tampered with, or if it's this book.
Roll Arcana.
Yes. That's what we like to see.
Nothing seems to be tampered with. It just seems to be, as far as you know, just a really bad, vivid dream. Nothing.
Okay.
It doesn't seem particularly magical in any way.
Did like the voice that was trying to like recruit me in a way sound familiar?
You have never heard that voice before. You know that
Okay.
for a fact.
Yeah. Like the studious person she is, she records all of her dreams and manifestations. So she writes all of this down, and just kind of like makes a mental note of this as well. So she records everything, and then just kind of like turns inward again and is just like processing and trying to piece things together.
Do you end up heading down at all to kind of be like, hey?
Yeah, she'll like head down, but I think she'll have like her notebook with her. So she'll have like her one page that is like all of her records of like the vision she had, and then the other page is everything from the dream, and then the page after that is her trying to like puzzle through like next steps. What could this mean? What could X mean? Look in the stars about this, look in the stars about that. Just like making notes for her next like stargazing session.
You
Yeah.
notice as you come down the stairs, there is nobody in the inn at all.
I have a quick question because I don't remember from last session.
1 second.
Okay.
It's important.
Okay.
Not even like the barkeep.
Nope, nobody there.
Okay. I mean, Kiva will kind of just sit herself at a table and like put her head down and start scribbling again.
Time seems to pass and nobody at all seems to come by. Completely dead.
I'd say like after an hour, she'd get like kind of concerned, and she would first look out a window and then she would go back upstairs.
You look out the window and everything seems strange outside. Like, it looks like it would normally, but something seems somewhat off.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't put your
she's
finger
gonna
on it
go. Yeah. Kind of
Hmm.
getting that feeling that something's maybe not quite right. She's gonna go back upstairs, and she's gonna knock on Crealis's door.
No answer.
Can she do like an insight check? Maybe see if she can like figure out if she's dreaming or not.
Sure.
Cool.
Totally is.
And at
Not
that
bad.
moment,
That's a 17.
you wake up. You are in your bed.
Oh.
Literally nothing that has happened in the last bit. You had been apparently dreaming the entire time.
Interesting. Okay.
You were just thought you had woken up. But this does
Yeah.
seem
Yes,
more
over.
real after a 17 insight, that you do seem to feel like this is real around you. Rufus, what
She's
was your...
gonna pretty much like repeat what she did in her dream of sorts.
Gotcha.
And she's gonna be a little concerned by it, but she's gonna just repeat everything, including like any of the notes she took in the dream. She's gonna be sure to like make those notes in real life, just to be like extra safe.
Gotcha.
She's also probably gonna, this time, instead of going immediately downstairs, she's probably gonna go look out the balcony again just to double check, and she'll knock on Crealis's door before she goes downstairs just to double check, even though Crealis is probably already downstairs.
Kratos is downstairs. You do hear everyone kind of talking as you go out to the balcony. Before you go to knock on Kratos' door, you hear like the whole group having a little bit of a conversation downstairs. And there
Gotcha,
are actually
yeah.
voices this time. Rufus, what was
Gotcha.
your question?
Do we know that she took the book?
You know that she has the
I-
book. You haven't had a conversation to know if she's opened it or anything like that, but you did
Yeah.
see her
Do
take
we
the
know
book.
that it look? Do we know that it looks suspicious?
You never had a conversation about it. The only ones that would know is Mega and Kiva.
Okay.
Because there's the only two
Okay.
that have actually touched the book.
Yeah. And that's fine. I just needed to know what I actually know. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, rewind like half an hour. Everyone else wakes up. Imagine everyone's moseying on downstairs. Or unless you have
Okay.
anything to do. Any of three of you want to do in your rooms before you go talk to everyone and have breakfast.
I was going to the last finishing touches on the cape and sit the doll so it's looking at the door.
Nice. That's right, the talking doll.
So I sent you a couple DMs on that,
Ooh, okay.
and yeah, Mega will go downstairs, look around for his friends, see if anyone's down there. Definitely get himself like a giant bowl of like oatmeal or scrambled eggs or something.
They do have scrambled eggs or oatmeal. Really, it's up to you.
The scrambled oatmeal.
Scrambled oatmeal. You can have them both. Why not? As you're going down, everyone else kind of would
Yeah.
be meeting in the hallway on your way down to breakfast.
Baguglio had a long night.
Right.
He didn't sleep well.
And you only take a short rest.
Oh.
And you're a warlock.
He looks tired.
Gotcha. So, everyone makes
Man.
their. Go on.
Look, Mega sees that, he's like, "Man, Spaguglio, you look rough.
Yeah.
Are you still worried about?" And he kind of like tries to sneakily like stares towards Kiva's room, like still worried about
Yeah, I was up all night thinking about her. Just it hurts my heart.
Oh my god.
He says it like, I don't know. Do you understand sarcasm, Mega?
at times, yes.
I feel like I
It's-
said it on the edge of sarcasm when I said my heart aches for her.
Okay.
And I don't know
Um,
if you understand that or not.
Well, he does understand sarcasm, but when it comes to his friends and family, he's always going to believe the best.
Okay.
So even if it does tick over, because he's got 14 wisdom, so he's not dumb by any
Yeah.
means. He knows when people are being sarcastic with him
Yeah.
and when people are like looking down on him for being a half orc and stuff. But at the same time, he likes the team that he ended up with, and
Okay.
he will just automatically think the best of everyone. So
The
if
only
it seems sarcastic, he's be like, "No, that was totally genuine."
and like the only part that would have been sarcastic would have been the my heart aches for her. He would have been pretty genuine about being up all night.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Clearly, you're just upset, and it's understandable.
You know what I could go for? Some coffee.
They do have coffee, and it's actual coffee.
It should
Let's
be
go.
fake coffee.
Let's go, big guy. Let's go get some coffee.
So,
Sounds good.
By the time that Kiva like comes down, she's like, she's usually pretty stoic. She looks a little rattled, but like she tries to maintain her aura of stoicism.
the only one that might notice is Crealis, because Crealis is rather perceptive. But everyone else probably isn't going to, like, know. And it's not like Crealis is going to know. He's just going to possibly be a little bit intuitive towards it.
Guglio is gonna say, "How nice of you to grace us with your presence."
Krialis kind of like moves, kind of shuffles over to make room for Kiva.
You
Kiva's
disappear
gonna.
all night
Krialis
and then you sleep in. Is this like a vacation for you?
See Krialis shuffle over, kind of sparks the memory, and Mega's like, "Oh yeah, that's right," and he, reaches into his big, belt bag that he has and pulls out this, this, soft gray like hooded cloak, about 3 feet long, and just has a single like toggle, kind of under where the hood is, so the cape can kind of be drawn around a little bit. He'll kind of hold it up next to Krialis. He's like, "Yeah, I think that'll fit," and then he'll kind of open it up and like plop it down on her.
And it fits.
Little
You-
owl hood.
You have knitted a lot, and you were able to definitely make it so it fits, and it was pretty good quality.
Krialis just like, it's very soft.
Glad you like it.
Oh my god, my heart. In response to Spaguglio, Kiva's just gonna like sit down and be like, "Unlike some people here, I actually have very important work I have to do."
Snap.
Oh, hang on. Mr. DM sir, what would one roll for, say, like a bravery check?
Well, it depends on. That's a great question.
Performance?
Performance.
To see if you
probably?
are brave, or are you just trying to act
Or
brave?
intimidation.
To see if I
Intimidation for them to feel their own
act
intimidation.
bravely.
Okay, so it would be performance then. If you're seeing if you can act bravely.
Well, I mean, like if I can act on a courageous impulse.
Maybe just a straight charisma roll.
Yeah, then it would be charisma. If it's not like a specific performance or anything like that, it's just charisma. Ooh, 11, that's high for it on a -1.
Okay.
11.
Okay.
You're averagely
As
brave.
Kiva sits down, Kriel, hang on, I gotta think of how she would phrase this. Krialis kind of like glances over at Sfuglio and then looks over at Kiva and says, Kiva, Sfuglio's been very concerned about how, in what terrible shape your druidic family is.
Oh no.
He heard
Kiva's
it all.
gonna like look at Krialis and then look at Spaguglio and say, "My druidic family?"
Well, yeah, you came here in like rags, so we're starting a fundraiser to get you some clothes.
Do I look like I'm in rags to you?
I've
Does it look like I cannot hold my own? Do I seem impoverished in any way?
yes.
You, sir, are gravely mistaken.
Do
And
you-
Kiva's going to walk up and go back to her room.
She's gone.
He turns to Krialis. He's just like, "What do you know?"
You turn to Krialis, she's gone.
Damn.
Did you go up or into your room? Did you
I
go to the
did-
rafters or into your room? Where'd you actually go?
I'm in the rafters, literally above Sfuglio, where I know he is never going to look.
So I feel like I'm
roll-
looking this way, Kiva, right? And I'm
Roll
like,
stealth,
"What do you?"
Krialis, to see if he heard you go up, like flutter up at all.
So I do have my cunning action, so I'm gonna.
It's okay.
hide.
My passive
Okay.
perception's only 10.
Yeah, I mean the
like,
stealth you
that-
could. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm like
Whip
you rolled a
around.
14 and he's just gone. You have no clue.
looking this way. I'm like, what do you know? Hmm. What have we gotten ourselves into, big guy? What have we gotten ourselves into? Just me and you, best friends who need something from
It
each
seemed
other.
like Kiva was. It seemed like Kiva was taken a little aback. You know, you probably need to be, you know, a little bit more tactful with how we help her in the future.
Good lord.
You know, it's hard to please everybody, but some people are even harder to please than regular people.
Yeah,
It's almost
goat farmers.
What?
Those
yeah,
goat
goat
farmers.
farmers. You get it. You read my mind, big guy.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Megan's
So-
gonna look around. Is Greg in here? Is
That's
is there
yep.
anyone that
So-
has?
As you look around and you say that, you notice that the inn's kind of clearing out, and in walks Greg specifically. He's like, "Hey, shouldn't there be 2 more of you in here?"
Oh yeah, they drank what they thought was coffee, and they had to. I don't know.
I
Megan's like,
believe
"No,
you're mistaking them for you.
No, I saw the whole thing. She just ran away. It was really weird.
Roll
I
deception.
don't know what happened. I'm good at that though.
Sure, you are good at that, but Greg rolled really high.
Oh shit!
Warlock.
I rolled a 7.
Okay.
I have
He-
a +5.
It didn't help.
Wow.
Whatever you say, Spaguglio. Whatever you say, I guess.
Damn right, whatever I say.
Kind of gives you a look. We're gonna need everyone here to kind of.
And then he's just like, I better go fix this.
yeah, please do.
And he walks off to go find Kiva.
As you go to walk off, Nick is gonna grab by the back of your
Okay. Yeah.
vest, and, kind of lift you up and bring you back. He'd be like, "I'll talk to Kiva. You find Crealis."
Haba. I assume you're walking
And with that,
away.
he is.
Greg just kind of shakes his head a little bit and gets a
I look over.
drink and starts to take a seat.
I look over at Greg and I'm just like, "Do you guys have bird food?"
Probably somewhere there's bird food in this town. Yes.
Bird
Um,
food?
I
Jeez.
mean, like,
I'm gonna give you a
I live-
hint. I think Crealis is a little bit more intelligent than just to flock to bird food. He starts to roll out a map on the big table that you guys
that's a
have. It's like he's preparing
no.
to say something and kind of looking around. It's like, yeah, that's essentially a no. Maybe you should
I'm just-
try and calm down a little bit, and she might. I don't know. I'm guessing you might have scared her off, judging by you.
I sit down and I'm just like,
We can't hear the whistle, but I think you're trying to
Oh,
bird whistle, right?
it's
Yeah.
not, it's like clicking noise. It's like,
Oh, okay, clicking. Okay.
yeah. It's like,
Yeah, Crealis at this point, kind of
Wow.
glides down behind him and just kind of goes outside and just waits out there.
Okay.
but now I'm just sitting around clicking, making clicking noises.
Megan's gonna go up. He's gonna check the balcony first. We learned from yesterday. I'm assuming that seeing the balcony empty, I'll go over. Oh, dun, 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 knock. Eva, you in there?
The door is gonna I'm assuming there's locks on these doors because
Yeah, there is. There is a lock. There's not.
Like one of those nice like chain locks, you know, where you like slide the little dingle hopper in there, and there's like a chain.
Yeah, no, that's
half
it's
orc
essentially
do.
what it is. Is like one. There's one chain lock. It's not in a bad part of
Cool,
town.
cool,
It's, you know,
Is it
there is one
specifically a
lock that's-
dingle hopper?
Yes, it is exactly a dingle hopper.
It's such a dingle hopper.
Oh,
How am
man.
I supposed to know what those things are called? I'm not a locksmith. Surprise, everybody! That's not my occupation.
I feel like too.
I feel light.
Anyway, the door is gonna like wrench open but get caught on the chain, and you're just gonna see the head of the Kiva's Yikilwa, so like a spear type looking head just kind of like poke out, and she's gonna call out and she says, "If that's you, Spaguglio, you can guarantee this will go in your guts."
So like your kneecaps.
She's holding at Julio's gut level. She's gonna stab me in the shin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mega's be like, no, it's Mega.
Oh. And
Your
she'll like
ghost-
she'll bring it back in, undo the lock, and open the door. Do we have business?
Yeah. Greg's here. He's asking for everybody.
I'll be right down.
You okay?
She's not gonna answer. She's just gonna like turn around, grab her stuff, and start walking downstairs.
Okay.
Mega will let her like push past and kind of like, he's deep in thought about something. He's mulling something. He's trying to, make 1 and 1 equal 2 in his mind.
Kiva's also,
Trying to
this
figure
is
out-
just like a small thing that may be a big thing. Kiva's taking the book with her.
Okay. Good to know. Good. Spooglio, by the way, has
was
his full
fine.
strength back. It was cured with a long rest. You felt fine again.
Oh. Okay.
I forgot to say. You're not at 6 strength anymore. You're back at 8.
I kind of figured after the long rest. I kind of forgot about that, but we
Yeah.
haven't done any strength checks yet.
Right,
What's
right.
the functional difference between a 6 strength and an 8?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a -2 versus a -1. Like, there's
Oh,
a whole
man.
number there.
As they
That's
approach
so
the
small.
tables, Spaguglio's kind of gonna nudge Greg as you be like, "Watch this. This is how you fix things."
Oh God.
Greg like looks over at you and then just kind of goes back to kind of folding on a map. Doesn't actually pay too much attention to what you're about to say because he just kind of shakes his head a little bit. And like, okay.
So
Kiva is kind of like initially just not making contact with him. She's going right for Greg.
so you guys sit down and Spaguglio says like very quietly, like you're gonna have to probably go into perception to hear this. He's just like, "You look pretty,"
Nice.
but he says it super quietly. I don't know if you hear it or not.
Are you trying to sound quiet? Are you trying to be stealthy about what you're saying?
I'm trying to be quiet about it.
Okay, so you roll a stealth
Oh my
check
goodness.
to see how quiet it is. First.
14.
Vocal stealth check. Okay. Kraus isn't there because Kraus would have just heard it.
Now I assume she would hear that I said something. Because
Yes.
how
do
can
you...
I fix things if she didn't hear anything?
The real question is, does anyone care enough to like listen hard enough to hear what he says? Because a perception
No.
roll would be if you actually want to listen.
No, Kiva has like tuned him out. She is like, she's here on a mission. She's not here to like mess around.
Mega, do you want to know what he said? Are you interested enough to do a roll?
Absolutely.
Oh boy, music change.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's
Ooh.
not. We're not here
Oh, I
yet.
guess this is a much more important role than we thought.
Yeah, Spaguglio got us into the Twilight Zone. He
Nope.
said something so out of
We're
character.
not there yet. Okay.
I must have missed something.
I
Oh, the rhythm
the
bot
music changed.
Yeah.
We're gonna go quiet for a little bit until we hit there. So yeah, you do a perception check if you want to
You want me to-
perceive.
you want me to perception?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't hear
Oh,
anything.
no.
You just
Nope.
heard little tiny little mumbles.
You would have heard mumbles though.
And having been around Spaguglio for more than a day, he's used to it by now.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna care. It was pretty great though.
And then he just kind of looks back at Greg and he's like, "See."
He just kind of gives.
Yeah, he thinks he fixed it. He's like, "You see."
He kind of gives you a look and shakes his head a little bit. He's like, "Good job, good job."
Did
Okay.
Greg hear it?
Oh, I feel like I'm sitting right beside Greg. I don't know if he cared.
yeah,
but-
yeah, yeah. So it's like he's right there. So
he
you know.
he
Yeah.
you wouldn't know whether he heard it or not. All you know is his reaction was good
Yeah.
job, and then
He definitely could have heard it because I assume I'm sitting right beside.
you are
him.
right beside Greg. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, as soon as this interlude is kind of like coming to a point, Kiva is gonna like take a look at the map. Is the map just of the island that we're on?
Yeah, it's
Or
pretty
the
much just a
continent.
big map of Alera
Okay.
with a couple things
Um,
circled.
Yeah. The city of Hardrum, that's on this
You
map,
do see
right?
the name actually circled.
Perfect. She's gonna point at it and look at Greg and say, "We need to go here."
How do you know that?
I have my ways of knowing things. We need to get to this town.
Why?
Why? At the same time. Why? His is an inquisitive, mine's accusatory. It's like,
He's gonna walk
um,
out the door at this point. Just Mega's distracted. He's gonna walk off.
Okay. Okay.
He's noticed
Um,
Crealis isn't around, and he's looking for Crealis at this point.
Did Crealis go any farther than the door, or is Crealis just right outside at this
Yeah,
point?
she's just right outside.
Okay. But yeah, back to why. As both
Oh.
both of them just say why at the
Uh,
same time.
Kiva is gonna look at both of them and say, I've had a vision and we need to go to this town so I can learn more about what happened there. It is a matter of great importance for this continent.
It is a matter of great importance, but there should not have been a way for you to know this.
I thought you read stars.
Magic works in many ways. Some might not understand all of those ways and take them for granted. I, however, am greatly in tune with the ways of magic, and we need to go to this city.
Can you tell me exactly how? Like, how did you get this vision?
Kiva is like, she's so used to being like alone. She doesn't like collaboration and she's not a fan of explaining herself. So this kind of comes off with like a lot more attitude than she kind of like hopes. But she's gonna like take out the book and put both of her hands on it. Make sure like it's staying near her. No one else is touching the book. She's like got both of her hands on the book and she's gonna say, like I said, I had a vision of some of the events that took place in this town, and I need to go there in order to divine more.
Greg's
Does
eyes
that
just.
book look suspicious?
Oh yeah. Like I don't know if you remember the description. It was a gray book with the writing. You can barely make out. You really can't actually make out the writing below Kiva's hands on the book, but you can see the spine of it is just a bunch of screaming faces.
And I'm gonna look at it like, do you know what that
Disappointed
is?
it's not an actual literal spine.
Do
Yeah,
do
a
know
spine
what
of
that is?
faces.
Do you know what that is?
Greg's eyes have just gone like completely wide and is like, "Where did you get that?"
I acquired it yesterday, and I am still studying it.
Can
From-
I look at it?
Absolutely not.
I won't even touch it.
Absolutely not. And she like puts it back into her bag.
I'm very good at magic shit.
Do you know what that is?
Not explicitly.
I
Um,
totally know what that is.
I guess I'll have you both roll Arcana checks to see if any of you would actually know exactly what that book is at this
So
time.
I'm gonna
Okay.
use my detect magic,
Okay.
which is 30 feet,
Nice.
anywhere 30 feet from me. If I sense magic, I know where it is and what school of magic it is, if any.
So first
There's a
was
magic sword hanging out outside the door.
Suguglio. You do actually notice that there's a magic sword. But you remember seeing that sword at least once that was taken out during the battle. So you're used
Yeah.
to that. You're like, okay. There is a magic book in front of you that is necromancy. That's the school.
Okay.
Which I think Kiva had figured out
Yeah,
yesterday
yeah.
too. She had
So-
kind of like
Yeah.
figured put that
And
together.
Spaguglio is just gonna be like, it's the Necronomicon, of course.
You, Kiva now notices after doing one more check that is a specific book that legends have spoken of called the Book of Memories.
Mm-hmm.
It is a sentient book that houses just the memories of its users over the years. Not a lot is known other than that. Greg kind of like looks at you and says like, "Do you know what it is?" And you do. Squilio doesn't actually have it.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, Spaguglio's not even gonna make the check. He just says it's the Necronomicon.
He just kind of he doesn't even pay
Kiva's
you.
gonna-
Or-
She's gonna like put her hand on like her satchel again and say, "It is not a Necronomicon."
You can't even say it.
That's me as Stacey having a hard time. Okay. She's gonna say, "It is in fact a book of memories."
Dead
That's
memories.
correct. No.
Are they
So
dead?
that is very much
We're
a
It's
gonna
living
more
die.
alive
being.
than dead.
That is a very
Or
much
the
a living being.
are the people dead? I think this is important.
Do you?
I got a big whiff of necromancy off that book. Smells like dead.
Some of them are, yes. What before I answer your question, do you remember what was your viewpoint? Like you saw this, but from what view? Like who did you see this from?
Someone of great authority.
Can you describe anything that you saw? Did you see any part of the person?
I can. However, I want to know why you want to know.
That is
I'm gonna let her talk to you like that.
at this point he actually like puts up a hand to you and just like tries to almost shove you off a little bit because this is like he's trying to have a very important conversation.
The
and the
grown-ups
more
are
that you talk,
talking here.
yeah, essentially. That book is potentially the key to helping us figure out more about the shadow and potentially, eventually, hopefully taking him out. If that's what I think it is. That spine is unique. Each book of memories looks different, but that spine should be his book.
Then you're lucky
Shadow.
it fell into the right hands.
Is the shadow dangerous?
Very much so. He kind of leans
You
his
might
hand off you a little
wanna. You might wanna. Do you guys know what like a witness protection program is?
bit.
We have it back home.
Witness protection.
You should send Gary far away from here. Like really far away from here.
He kind of gives you a look, and it's like
Oh.
Gary went back to the Forgotten City this morning.
Oh,
Why?
No
Why
reason.
do you? Okay.
No
Oh,
reason.
dear.
I'm imagining it's his book. I'm imagining you saw something through his eyes. That book itself should
did.
mean that you do. Now, the Book of Memories is not a nice thing. I don't know if you noticed any ill effects when you were trying to read it, but the Book of Memories' sole goal is to absorb more memories, which can lead to death. But if used properly, it can help us find out more about the shadow. I'm gonna lay everything on the table here. We don't know much about him, much about his past, and that seems to be the only thing that's stopping us from. We need to learn about what he is. All we know is years ago, a shadowy figure showed up and started doing terrible things around the entire continent, and no one has been able to stop him. That right there could be the key to doing that.
Well, until you find someone more capable of handling this work of literature, this book of memories, it's going to stay in my possession.
No, that's
where
fine.
it's safe.
Only certain people can read them. If you're one of those people, then it needs to stay in your hands, and, well, we might need you to read it more. Hopefully protectively, so that you don't die.
I'm gonna be very honest. I don't remember what I had for breakfast. Am I going to die?
You're fine. You actually do
Okay.
notice, Guglio, even across the table, you also hear the whispers coming from the book. And Greg kind of looks at both of you and is like, do you hear anything from that book?
That's the book. That's terrifying.
If you can hear from it, that means you can use it. I hear nothing. I just see a terrible book.
That is terrifying.
It is terrifying, I imagine. I honestly have no clue. I'm going to believe you for once in my life.
Unless somebody is screaming, help me, that is terrifying.
I honestly don't
Luckily,
know.
one of us has no fear.
Good.
I didn't say I was scared. I said it's terrifying. I bet Greg would be terrified if he heard it. Give me that book.
If you try to grab it, Kiva is going to pound your face into the ground.
He's not going
With
to
no
try
mercy.
to. He's not going to try to grab it. He's going to give me that book. There's no fear here. Greg is a baby.
Greg kind of puts his hands between both of you. Okay. This is a great bit of information, though extremely scary. You're right to be scared, but at the same time, if you're confident, that's okay.
I'm not scared.
You're
I
right.
said
He looks
you
at
would be scared
Spaguglio.
if you
He looks at
could hear it.
Spaguglio and says, "You're right to be scared. It's okay. You don't need to put it on anyone else." And we need to get everyone
it's
together.
okay to cry, Greg.
We
So,
need to
are
get-
we headed to this city or not?
We are, actually. There were two tasks. There's someone else that's going to be coming in who's going to be helping us out a little bit. Should be here soon. If we can get everyone together at the table, we can go over a plan. And as this is happening, I don't know if the two of you are listening into anything from the outside. Are you close enough to the door to like hear into the inn, or are you just not? You're just nonchalantly just kind of chilling out.
I mean, I'm sure some of this was loud enough.
You heard
that
some
they
loud.
heard.
Yeah,
Right,
It
but-
probably would have been if we had stuck around outside of the inn, but we wandered off to look at sheep and rabbits.
Lovely.
legit. We've been going a tiny little back and forth in DMs.
Yeah, it's totally fine. So, what did you explain to us?
Precious.
What happened then?
So I went outside. I saw Crealis there. I'm like, hey, the cloak looks good on you. And then
Very
I
comfortable.
kind of look around, new place, never been here before. I'm like, oh, want to go like find some sheep or rabbits to look at?
Yeah, Crealis looks around. Oh, yeah, that would be nice. Like as the voices are slowly raising, I feel like inside.
It'd be when you guys would start walking off.
And
Yeah.
we just kind of circle around the inn to
Like,
find out where do they keep their animals.
Behind
So
the
we'll go around to the back of the inn looking for a stable area. If there's nothing there, we'll kind of like wander up and down the streets looking for for livestock pens or a rabbit hutch that someone's keeping behind their shop or whatever. We're just looking around, gawking.
so there's like a horse stable behind the inn, and then a little bit of ways from that down the street there is like a little old goat pen, there's a little rabbit hut kind of in one of the more open areas in the northwestern quadrant. There's a little bit of farmland. So you can
Okay.
easily find
So-
that. At this point, you're out of earshot of everything as well.
100%.
Yeah.
Look at the rabbits, look at the
Yeah.
goats. I'm looking for sheep, but probably,
There are actually no
and
sheep.
nothing not in town. That
No.
wouldn't make sense, but it can hope.
So I guess while you're doing
And
this,
I would figure after 10 minutes or so that it's like, yeah, we should probably get back.
I
We should
look over Kiva and I'm like, do you hear
I
that?
forgot I came out to tell you that Greg was here and he wanted to get everybody together.
Oh, yeah. Crealis kind of like pulls the cloak a little tighter and starts trudging off, hopping off in the direction of the inn.
You hear that?
hear what? What?
Or what?
Exactly. Normally we can hear the thumpings around of a half orc.
Oh god, did
What?
they leave? It's fine. It's fine. They'll be here. They'll be back soon.
And I assume like right after that we hear thum, thum.
you
the
do.
approach
You do yeah. And the two of you, as you're re-entering, you actually also are entering at the same time as a dwarf. As you two enter in with the dwarf, a short, probably like 3'4", 3'5" dwarf walks in with long black hair, full beard down to his stomach, and a scar that runs all the way from the top of his forehead to the side of his nose. Walks in. In one hand,
Is this dwarf familiar?
not at all.
Okay, good. Just checking. Gotta check.
No, I know.
He's taller than me.
Yeah, no, he's still short, but like, I guess he's not too short.
I'm only 3 feet tall.
Oh damn, got you by 5 inches.
Small.
In one hand is a rolled up piece of parchment, and another is a bottle of some form of liquor. He kind of puts the parchment down, takes a swig of the liquor, looks around, looks at Greg, and is like, "This is what we got. Well, it'll have to do. My name is Barty. I am a detective of sorts. Used to run a detective agency back in Alarin City. They called me out to help find out things. I guess I'm more of a specialist. He looks kind of uncomfortable, a little bit off his feet. Kind of like, you get the idea that he doesn't deal with people very often, other than like solo people that would come into a detective agency in a big group. He's like, so I'm here to help find out about the shadow. He takes another swig of his liquor. What do you guys got so far? Kind of looks over at Greg. Greg kind of looks back at him and is like, well, we have a book. If Keva would like to tell you a little more about that. We found a book of memories. Pretty great.
Yeah. Again, Kiva is like very suspicious of new characters, especially those who seem a little braggadocious. And so she's gonna just like confirm that yes, we have a book of memories. Yes, it contains information about the shadow. We need to go to Hardrum as soon as humanly possible. And like that's it.
It's a good start. I guess we'll go on to Hardrum. Do you guys know the area at all? Kiva, you would know the area as if it was you've been there before, but no one else would know Hardrum.
Yeah. I'm perfectly familiar with the surroundings.
Okay.
We got off the same boat at the same time.
Yes, however, some of us are more magically intuned and can become aware of our surroundings without having to be there.
Know anything else about this place? Like, what's over there?
That's none of
What
your
are these
business.
trees here and there.
Do any of you know
A
what's
chance to real point in the direction that Mega and Crealis were? Because when Spagulio was like, well, what's over there? I would love for Mega to be like, rabbits.
Sure. He's got a point.
Yes.
What's over there? Rabbits.
catch any?
No, they're in a hutch.
Okay then. No pie, I guess.
Barty just kind of looks around. Barty and Greg
As
kind of
I've,
look at each
I've
other.
as I've stated before, we need to get to this city as soon as possible so I can see what's going on.
Barty kind of looks at you and is like, I agree with you. I just want to give you a little bit of a Greg filled me in a little bit. We were going to Hartrim before this. That was one of the places we were going to look for some clues. It's seen some pretty rough times. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a little heads up on that.
I'm aware.
Have you
He's
told the
used to it.
rest of the group about this though, or would you like me to?
Oh, she doesn't know shit.
No, she's gonna kind of just keep it on the down low.
Okay.
Who's in Hartrim?
What?
Mega would like to. Mega would ask, "Are there elves in Hartrim?"
Yes, actually, it's a human and elf town. It's actually kind of rare that it exists. But yeah,
We do need to go.
he kind of just looks at you and is like, "Yeah, totally." Okay,
An elf guy.
half elf, half orc. I'm guessing, or half.
Me?
Yeah, no, you.
No. I'm half human, half orc, but my wife is
Oh.
half elf, half human.
Oh, okay, interesting.
We haven't been gone that long.
Barty has no clue about it. He literally just
Yeah.
walked in.
Flat look, like no.
Window shopper.
Well,
I'm gonna get shanked by like 5 people by the end of this campaign. And one of those people
Oh
might
my
be
God.
Julio, I'm not sure.
just shank himself. No, his fiend will shank himself. We'll make him shank himself.
The fiend's like, whoa.
Hold up.
I need you to just stab yourself right now. Okay. Kind of looks around. It's in pretty bad shape. As far as we know, Greg has filled me in a little bit. It was attacked by, we don't know what. There was a lot of mayhem caused. Probably what sounds like potentially a small army. But they're gone from there as far as we know. They should be rebuilding at the moment. We're going to send you guys to help rebuild and find out what happened. Yeah. Since you have someone that already knows everything about Hartrim, other than that, Hartrim, other than that, I think you guys will be pretty set to go.
Everything's a bit of a stretch. She found it on a map. She looks at the stars. She found it on a map. I don't think we need to toot her horn any more than that. Lead the way.
We're actually gonna go. So there's another thing that we'll be doing after called there's a town that needs defending, similar to Venfall, but a little bit different, called Olenora. We're gonna be setting up shop there, and we're gonna send you guys with a couple of the Horizon Walkers out to Hartrim.
I look at Kiva and I'm like, oh, is that on the way to Hartrim or is it past Hartrim?
Kiva at this point is fully ignoring Guglio. Her eyes are up here and perfectly parallel in front of her, which means she can't see Spooguglio at all, and may
4.5
just
feet
step on
down.
him if he tries to cut her off in any way. And she will have no qualms with squashing him.
Greg has
Zero.
also just stopped listening to Spooguglio at this point too. Every single thing Spooguglio said, he's been looking away as much as possible. Because Spooguglio, you're on his right. He's just always looking left and around as much as possible.
I'm totally waiting for me to know something important. At that point, nobody's gonna care except maybe
Yeah.
Mega.
Oh yeah, Mega might listen. That's it.
Oh.
Oh my god, the cameras. It's fine. I think
Mega,
Mega had to
no, not even Mega.
go for a second.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Even Mega left me.
Mega's done.
Oh, my
Literally,
goodness.
you left as soon as I said, when I know something important, nobody will believe me except Mega. And then you dropped, and I was like, oh, okay. I see.
Oh my goodness.
So, if all you guys
Um,
want
Even
to
better.
gather your things, I would. He kind of looks at the book and like I would keep that as actually is it in the bag at this point? It's probably in the bag.
It's back in
Um,
my bag. It was literally on the table for a total of like 5 seconds.
I would keep that thing safe. Marty kind of looks at you wherever it is.
I'm
Don't
gonna
let it-
look. I'm gonna look at our dudes, and I'm like, are there any shops around?
There are some
Before
shops
I ask
around.
that-
Yes.
Is there like a? Would I know what a bag of holding is?
Roll an Arcana check.
That's a crit fail.
Oh wow, that's like the one thing that would have made you not know. You
Is
have
there-
no clue.
Can we get
bigger
something to
bag.
like? Is there like something we can? So I can see the book in her bag because I'm magic and shit.
Can
Is
you
there
see through
something we can
things?
put? I mean, I can tell if there's a.
Oh, detect magic. That's
Yeah.
true. You can actually
Yeah.
you know that there's probably more than
So I'm
one
like,
magical thing.
is there
but yeah.
is there something we can put that book in so it's not so obnoxious?
A lead-lined knapsack.
So like I don't know enough to know that we could like if we put it in a bag of holding, it wouldn't be able to tell. I'm not smart enough to know that, but I'm smart enough to know that I can see the book, and I know that I'm not that strong. So like, is there something we can do about like it smells like death?
Um,
Don't
I'm
you think
gonna-
it's dangerous for us to just prance around with it?
Marty gets a little bit candid and looks at you and is like, any creature that has a brain would be about 1,000,000 miles away from that book. So don't worry about someone stealing it. Greg kind of looks at
He
him with a
just
little bit of
look- he just-
alarm and is like,
I just look
"What?"
at Keeve and I'm like,
Again, she is not registering you. She is not perceiving you. You are just a little fly on the wall.
I look at the dwarf and
Uh,
I'm like, so you'd say it's terrifying, even.
Anyone who's smart would say it's terrifying, yes. At this point,
mean,
Greg like pushes you off a little bit more and just kind of pushes you to the side. And... Now, and then Greg looks at everyone like, we should get on our way and make sure that Hartrim is fine. Help them rebuild and do what needs to be done, helping everyone out. Hopefully get a little bit of information. If you know the exact spot, the way that book works, as far as we know, is if you go to that spot and there might be a certain item that calls to you, you might be able to get another memory. You might be able to follow a trail, essentially, is what we want to use it for.
I know the spot and I know the item.
Okay. Beware the item might have moved a little bit, but hopefully it hasn't moved too far.
We'll see what we find.
This is fine.
This is fine. Everything's
Everything is fine.
okay. So,
Baguglio's happy.
Look.
He's good to go. He...
what did you say, Mega?
Mega's goes up, gets his stuff together. Let's get this show on the road.
Nice.
Mega's got elf women to find. That anyone knows why.
Nobody knows why yet. I don't know if you haven't told anyone. No one's
Baguglio thinks he knows why.
other than Kiva, no one said why they were here to the group yet. So no one knows yet.
We're all just
Which is totally
concerned
fine.
citizens.
That's totally fine,
We're all
right?
just concerned citizens.
A
Ah,
lot of
yes,
money.
Kiva, such a concerned citizen.
She's
So
here.
I'll pay
she-
really close attention for when the guards ask us what we saw.
I mean, like, to be fair, everybody else thinks you're here because you need money.
You know what? There's only a couple people who think that.
I think it's like Mega. Crialis, I don't think thinks that anymore because she heard the entire conversation.
Anymore is not like never.
Never thought that in the first
Never
place.
is accurate.
Meg, I think, is the only one that
Never
believes you at this
is
point.
accurate.
Maybe Greg. You don't know.
Greg doesn't. Well, I don't
You
know
told
if he
you
knows
you,
anything.
you told Greg about
He's given no indication.
Mega
that-
needing money.
Yeah, I don't.
specifically.
Yeah,
I guess
We're all
actually,
here for the same
as
thing.
everyone walks
Spagoolio
out,
needs
the end, Greg pulls Baguglio aside and is like, we can allocate some funds for you. How much do you actually need? And to where?
pulls out,
For
like,
Mega,
he pulls-
of course. Sorry, for Mega.
pulls-
Do
he
you know
pulls
how
out
much
a
Mega
notebook.
needs?
Yeah, I know how much Mega needs. And he pulls out like this thing and he's just like, he needs like $50,000 by the end of the month, and it's
What's dollar? Sorry,
gold.
I know. It's giving me a hard time.
I'm from Little Italy. It's weird.
50,000.
50,000 gold by the end of the month, or his bad things are gonna happen.
Greg just kind of shakes his head. I can't believe such
He left
bad
his
things.
favorite sheep in charge. It would really suck if it died.
Yeah, I know. How does
When
a
you say
sheep?
the word sheep, from the back of Mega's backpack, you hear
That's right.
a
Bah.
small, soft voice go, bah, bah, bah.
That's it.
So yeah, if you could send he just like hands you a piece of paper. It's like, it'll take about 4 days to get there. Tell no one.
Can you? Is there any way you can give me a little more information about what happened at Mega? To be
Oh,
in
yeah.
such debt?
He do you know where Mega's from?
I'm not familiar with
No.
the specific.
It's called Little Italy.
Ah,
And there's some bad people who will do bad things if you don't pay your dues. And he really wanted more sheep, and he took out a huge loan to get more sheep.
Ah, ah.
you are hearing that from very far away.
And he took out a loan to buy some more of them. And people are coming to get that money. And
Okay.
they don't care what you love or who you love. They don't care if you're alive or dead. In fact, they'd prefer the latter. Just send the money.
We'll make sure to take care of the issue for Mega. Don't you worry.
And then he hands you like the piece of paper with where it's got to go.
Okay.
He's like, don't tell him I did this. He'd be very embarrassed if he thought someone was coming on his behalf, half-orc pride and whatnot.
Once again, just like before, he like gives you a knowing look and puts his hand on your shoulder and is like, I'll make sure to keep it between you and me.
I'd appreciate that.
Okay. Now off you go. Stay safe. Hopefully nothing bad has happened more than just what originally happened there. Have fun too. And Greg just kind of walks away.
After he walks away, I'm like,
In the
he is a
War Farm
shady
City.
bastard.
Greg. Okay. So, everyone.
Did we ever get the dwarf's name? I may have
Barty.
missed it. Barty.
You didn't get a
Yeah.
full name. All I got was Barty.
I've been wondering this
Good
whole
enough.
time if he's a bard. Because that would be great.
That's a great question. I think Barty has. a
I never
class.
asked it, so I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I didn't ask. So
Well, now you're making me
I-
think about it. Like,
I mean,
don't-
you should think about it because it might come up later.
I
so
don't
you
give
should think
every
about
one
it,
of
but
my
don't tell
NPCs
me.
classes, Rufus.
I mean, it doesn't need to be a class. If he plays music, I'll put two and two together. I'm
Yeah.
not that stupid.
All you
I got
know is
plus
that
one.
Barty is a specialist, or a
Yep.
specialist, as far as he says, and he seems to drink a lot.
I'll talk to him about that later.
I'll talk to him about that later. Shady
We
business.
got shit to do.
Okay, so you all start on your way to Hartarim. The driver goes over a little bit. He explains to you that is in a human and elvish town that is on the border of the elvish territory. He makes note to say that it is kind of strange. The elves seem to always keep to themselves. They aren't always very kind of other races, but this specific elvish town was close enough to close. Wasn't quite in the elvish territory of Valera. The elves like own the right hand side of the continent, pretty much. So they live in harmony with each other.
Oh, so these ones aren't racist, but the ones next door are.
Yep, pretty much.
Of
He makes note to be like he makes note to say specifically the high elves are
course.
especially bad.
Yeah, the Eladrin
Yeah,
bastards.
yeah. But you all should be fine. They this town is very welcoming. He kind of makes a little note. When you go farther into the territory, you guys might want to be a little bit safe. As you imagine, you'll probably be going farther into Elvish territory. But yeah, that's pretty much it. He tells you that this town, you're going to go help, make sure everything's A-okay, or make sure everything gets better, considering things were not A-okay. And that's pretty much it. You do your drive. Everyone takes another long rest, but that's not necessary at all.
Sweet, 4 spell slots.
Nice.
If I had known we were doing another long rest, I would have done some crazy shit.
In the end.
I thought about it, but it's fine.
Okay, so as you approach the hill that you were standing on above the town originally, as you're about to kind of crest the hill, you notice that the scene that you saw before, the cart had stopped like a couple hundred feet before you guys were walking up here with the group. You notice that the scene that you saw before was a lot worse than what you originally saw. As you look down on this,
surprised?
you are very surprised. You look down on this
Okay.
elvish human town, and there is a purplish bluish hue over the entire thing, and in the center, almost like some form of corruption, and in the center there seems to be a very large rift open. You hear various, like, everything. Wait a minute. This is time for the music. Give me a second. I need to have it rejoined because it hates being in the channel when it's not playing anything. And skip. Yeah, for skip. And everything just kind of seems to have this like off-putting, almost corruption-y color to it. You notice that the tops of the trees that were on fire, actually the fire is out, but everything almost kind of seems semi-crystalline at this point, and everything just seems to radiate terribleness. Everyone
So
seems
I know
very
only-
surprised. Yep.
Only
You-
Kiva would be surprised that this is different than what she saw, but are we
Correct.
all seeing
You're
what you're
surprised.
describing?
Yes, everyone's seeing this, and you're all like,
Okay.
This isn't what we were told. You guys were told you were going to be helping out people
Yeah,
rebuild.
okay.
There is, as
Yeah.
far as you can see, not a soul in sight.
Ooh, detect magic.
But I know that that's not good.
Correct.
Mega points
Detect-
at the town with the rift and the glowing purplish bluish hue. It's like, yeah, that ain't right.
That ain't right. Correct.
I got detect magic coming up here as soon as, if there's any exposition, as soon as that's done, detect magic.
Kiva, you notice that you come to the spot where the throwing knife would be that you remember just from your memory, and it's not there, but you kind of feel the book pulling you towards the center, as if you're close enough to the object that it's kind of like saying, go for it. Trying to pull you where it is.
Right. I'm gonna kind of just let them. I'm gonna at least let Crealis know. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna say, we're close to the item. Make sure that there's no danger around if I fall into a trance.
She like kind of nods, panicked, and is looking around for any kind of danger.
Occasionally in the distance, you do hear a tree, like a crystal kind of drop and fall. You see like chunks of trees just kind of
What
down
happens
to the
when they hit the ground?
just dust. It doesn't seem, you don't know if it's harmful or not. It just seems to be dust that gets formed somewhere. and it does eventually seem to dissipate.
What's Barty like? Also, what's his reaction?
Barty's not with you. Sorry. Greg and Barty went off
The
to
driver?
Eleonora.
Oh,
The
okay,
driver
okay.
himself, the driver and the two Horizon Walkers that were with you are very confused because they were given the same intel as you, and they look very surprised, like they've never seen anything like this before. The driver looks over and is like, "This is not. I've never heard of anything like this."
Okay, so as soon as he says that, what do I see with detect magic? I guess it takes 10 minutes, so maybe I don't see anything yet.
So, oh, wait a minute. I'm on the wrong scene. This is what everyone sees. I have a map up. We're here. The stream was on the wrong scene. Now everyone can see the map. So you, what's this? 60 feet?
30?
30 feet.
I think it's 30. I think it's 30, yeah. 30 feet, yeah.
And is it magical object specifically?
For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any.
So
The
you,
spell can try to penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone or
yeah,
an
the
inch of
wood,
metal.
yeah, metal, yeah. It's very magical. You don't know much about it, but this is the work of magic.
Okay. Is there a school that it goes with it?
Not that you know, actually. Like, actually, roll an Arcana check on top of that.
$16.
Not that you know. You can't
I'm gonna-
pinpoint the school of magic.
I'm gonna look at Kiva. I'm gonna be like, look, I know some things about magic, but there's a lot of magic, and it's very odd that I don't know what kind of magic it is. I'm not the most proficient with magic, but I usually know what is what. Something's not right. Don't take that book out.
We're not taking the book out.
Good.
It should have its effects without being in my hands.
Maybe hold on to it a bit. I don't feel good about this.
Kiva is staying like calm and collected, and is like following that pull of the memory that she had.
Okay. So the group of three kind of look at you and say, "We are going to go." I don't know if you can see my cursor on your screen, the
Yep.
Game Master cursor. We are going to go down this road. If you guys want to enter from the other side, we're going to kind of do a scouting thing. If anything crazy goes down, back up and we'll meet you back here.
Okay, wait. How many are?
There's 3 Horizon
Driver-
Walkers. There's 2 Horizon Walkers and 1 driver. They're going to go
Okay,
separate from you guys. They're going to go down this
so
way.
are we on foot?
Yeah, from this point, you guys are on foot.
And they have a cart or something.
The
Or
cart
are
was
they
left
also
like
on
100 feet back.
Okay, so they're on foot going one way. We're on foot going another way.
Correct.
Okay.
Everybody's on foot.
Okay.
Everybody got feet.
Can you show us where approximately the hill was that we were like looking down on the town from?
It's essentially where your characters are. Your character portraits are.
Oh,
So maybe
okay.
maybe a little bit back, like here, ish.
Thank you.
I'm actually gonna like. This is a little crazy, but as I'm kind of being like pulled by this memory, I'm also going to use one of my wild shapes to enter my dragon starry form. So when you make an intelligence or wisdom check or a con saving throw to maintain concentration on a spell, you can treat a roll of a 9 or lower on the d20 as a 10. So this is just gonna like help me out if I need to be making any of those checks anytime soon. So if you're gonna allow this.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
More than enough time. Yeah.
Crealis, you're probably everybody who's like anyone who's looking at Kiva, you can kind of see these little glowing lights start to like attach themselves. They kind of like fly from the air and then like attach themselves to Kiva and like form this like draconic looking like emblem on like her chest, and then she kind of gets draconic looking features with like the little stars turning into like scales and stuff.
I'm gonna look at Kiva and I'm gonna say something that at first is going to sound really weird.
Great.
Give me your hand.
She's gonna like kind of hold both of her hands. Why?
I don't know how I explain mage armor to you, but I'm gonna be like,
You're both magic users, so I feel like you might.
I'm gonna give you a protective aura.
She like kind of hesitantly like lowers her hand, and you can see like some of the stars have formed into like claw looking like very long claws on her nails.
Yeah, your AC is now 13 plus dex.
Woo!
For 8 hours.
For 8 hours, mage armor.
13 plus dex. Okay, so that means my new armor class is
14.
14. Yeah.
I already
Good.
checked.
It's not concentration, so-
Hey, thanks. Okay. Yeah, so that's like what Kiva's doing as she's like being led by this book.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything before we make our way on the right-hand side and we switch scenes?
Just keeping an eye out.
Okay. As
Yeah.
you kind of come around the
He's got
right,
mace in hand, and
as you kind of come around the right, still a little bit up the hill, you hear a blood-curdling scream from the very inside, the very center of town. Scream, help me. Help! But blood-curdling and not like I just said it. I'm in an apartment.
that
I can't
can't be
really do
good.
blood-curdling scream.
That can't be good. You know what? Maybe we should go that way. And I point the other way. It's like, "God, things have a way of working themselves out."
someone needs help in there. We've got to go help.
Kiva says, you can help them, but I need to make sure I get this memory.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with Kiva. I'm gonna go with her. She needs
Yeah.
me for the aura stuff.
For the aura. Okay. So, you guys want to switch
This is
scenes
where
to
we-
outskirts, which should have just popped up.
Okay.
And you guys should all see a house in front of you. So,
Is that wait? I don't see a okay. That could be a house. Your fog.
you
of
get the fog of
war?
war
Is
because
that
the
where
wall
house
exists.
is?
It's the door is closed.
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to see into
Okay.
the house itself.
Perfect.
And the fog is a little bit too far forward, so you can't quite see the stone wall, but it is a stone, or like
That's okay.
a wooden stone house, yeah. So, as you start moving towards the right-hand side of town, the fog itself seems to almost have like it's almost like a wall, and as you step into it, you just kind of feel this feeling of dread start to wash over you. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, I have advantage on wisdom saves against magic.
It's this magic, so go for it.
Okay, that's just a check, so that doesn't apply.
Oh, that sucks.
What'd you get?
10. I got 10
Okay.
with advantage.
20.
And Mega. 13. Okay, so
13.
everyone but Spaguglio kind of shakes it off. Spaguglio, as you kind of start to walk, you feel yourself kind of slow, like you're almost kind of sticking to everything kind of seems heavier. Like the ground is almost holding on
Yeah.
to you, and you have 5 feet less of movement.
Ooh.
Everyone else kind of, if you happen to look at Spooklio, you actually, as you shrug it off, you see him like almost start to walk a little bit slower. Not too much, but he looks like he's a little bit slower. He's picking up his feet a little bit more. His legs are coming up a little more off the ground. Like he's trying to almost get off of something.
Kiva, slow down. Your gangly legs are putting you too far ahead of me.
Her legs are not gangly; they are beefy.
Gangly legs.
Beefy. She's a big lady.
Slow down.
Um, she kind of like takes slightly smaller steps. Slightly.
Okay. So, you, as you
In
kind of
both our best interest if I'm not alone.
as you kind of approach and go around this house, you hear that the road to town is kind of below, but as you're kind of going near it, you hear rummaging from the inside of the house.
Okay.
It's a little moving around.
Just to
like-
be clear, because my brain kind of did a little hop, skip, and a jump away from myself. This is where the book is leading me, right?
Correct. The book is kind of pushing you a little
Okay.
bit past the house, but like as you're going through, you kind of hear rummaging. Like there's also someone inside.
Is there a
Okay.
door?
Yes. Can you see the
Is
door?
it
or
shut?
no?
I don't see the door.
You don't see the door icon? Okay, I'd have to open it up, but the door is
okay,
shut.
okay.
Window.
Okay. Is there windows?
There
I had to zoom
are
in a little bit to see.
so there are 2 windows that I didn't program. So we're gonna say no. There are no windows.
How can I detect magic through things?
How much is it? Is it
Sure,
a
they
foot
do
of
think.
stone?
It is blocked by a foot of stone, an inch of common metal, or a thin sheet of lead, and 3 feet of wood or dirt.
I feel like a wall is gonna at least be does it sound right? A foot thick? It's wood though, so I think you're.
3 feet of wood.
Oh, you're good. You can detect magic through there. It's like a wood stone
Okay.
composite.
Whenever we get within range of that, because we're too far away
The,
right now.
the
but
game
I
is
wanted-
unpaused, and you're not in combat.
Oh.
You're in like maybe not. You're really not even
Okay.
soft combat, so you guys can move.
Whenever we get 30 feet away from being able to, so like I'm gonna say, oh shit, how do I ruler control? Is that it?
Yeah, control.
Or
Drag.
no, yeah, control drag. Whenever we get, okay, so we're 60 feet away now. Whenever we get about 15 feet away from the house,
Hmm.
I will cast detect magic,
Okay.
but we're not quite there yet.
Yeah. I imagine everyone's kind of moving as a group towards the
Yeah.
whoever wants to check out
Yeah,
the rummaging.
Meg is gonna make sure that he's in front, and kind of hold his hand up, as he's back towards the team, like kind of in the, like, hold up, be quiet.
Yeah, and I'm kind of gonna whisper and just be like, "Let me take a look."
I realize I forgot
I
to say close the stream and
Oh.
put chat on only if anyone has.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You might already know what's
I don't
in
even
here.
have
If
it.
not,
I
that's
just
fine.
have my chat up now
Okay.
because I can see you guys here. So,
Okay.
so I'm like, let me take a look, and I cast detect magic so I can see 15 feet into the house with detect magic. So I can't see what's going on, but I can detect magical things.
So the entire place is magical, but there are a couple spots inside the house that seem extra magical.
Is there a school with the extra magical?
It seems to be the same unknown school as what is around you, but just specific pinpoints.
There's concentrated magic in there. So there's magic all around us. There's more inside.
There's magic all around us.
It's magical. I mean, if there's a way to go around the house, Kiva's gonna like just avoid it. She doesn't want to go inside. She's on a mission.
Okay, there's a way to go around. Is everyone else going to kind of go for the? You hear the rummaging again. You almost hear like a little yelp from inside. Ah, but not like that.
pretty much go for the door at this point.
All right. Is everyone except for Kiva following Mega kind of?
I'm like
I want to
halfway
stand in a
between
spot.
the two.
I'm kind of the same. I want to see both. I don't want to be too far away from anybody. I want to see things.
Okay. So are you just barging
But
the door?
if I
Right.
have to choose, I'm gonna follow Kiva.
Okay. Are you gonna barge
But
in the
I
door?
want to be in the middle. Yeah. What are you gonna do, Maggie? Are you gonna knock? Are you gonna kick it in?
Well, I'm going to get to the door, and I'm going to. He's going to reach out and just put a little bit of pressure on it to see if it swings open. To see if it's latched or not.
If it's slightly ajar, more or less.
It's not actually
Yeah.
budging at all. As you kind of like lean up against it, it doesn't seem to be ajar at all. You can't quite just push it easily.
He will then. Okay, then he'll take the handle and he'll try and pull it. Gently pull it.
Okay. Roll. You're trying to stealthily open the door, so roll stealth. Because it's not locked, so it does kind of open up. Or just open up. It doesn't just kind of. And as you kind of are opening up, you hear a little screw. And inside, the two figures that seem to be rummaging both look at you. They are humanoid, or they're human and elfish in features, but they all seem to be in immense pain. And they both rush the door. I need everyone to roll initiative. As they both kind of run towards you.
So where is? But I guess before we do it, where is Kiva at this point? I tried to put myself in the middle.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't.
How far did
I
you?
was really bad at
They're fine.
moving.
Did you follow Meg, or did you actually you might have gone down south if you were following the sign just a little bit?
I mean, I was just trying to follow the book, so I'm kind of just like trudging on ahead.
So if it was the book, you'd probably be like here-ish, because the book was trying to pull you farther down.
Maybe somewhere in the middle-ish.
Yeah.
I rolled a 9.
They're not actually what the stat tracker shows. It's just a placeholder. So don't be like, doppelganger, oh my god.
Very high.
They're not
Mega have time
near as...
Mega have time to call back to the teams like there's things in here. Get ready.
Yeah, everyone would kind of see them rush the three of these would see you rush the door, and you would have been able to say like, get ready, as they're rushing the door. So everyone would know it's combat time. There you go, Spooglio. You can roll initiative now.
Oh, I got a 9, but I can roll it here too. Hey, I did better.
Sure.
I'll let you choose if you want me to take my original 9 or my 14. I don't
You
care.
take the 14. We'll give you the
Okay.
14.
Okay.
Okay, so first is Crealis. Essentially, Mega opened the door towards him. It kind of squeaked a little bit. It was like, squeak, and the two figures kind of like turned. They're, like I said, they're human and elf. They looked like their faces looked like kind of contorted in immense pain, and they just like rushed the door at you. And then they looked to almost like very quickly just rush.
Do they look? I say they look like they're in pain. Do they actually look hostile? Like, are they approaching with like? Do they have any weapons on them? Are they clothed?
They are partially clothed. They do a perception check for me to see whether you know how they're running at the door. Okay, they look like they were aggressively running at the door. Not like, please help me, but more like a
How dare you?
get him, yeah, kind of thing.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. she'll try. I guess she'll just try to like panic, fire off a bolt.
Sure.
At I guess the one that she sees the most clearly, which is
I think the top one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, you should have a clear shot through the door.
If I can remember where attacks are. Hang on.
Should be under inventory. Short
Oh,
bow.
inventory. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
No problem.
I'm assuming I that they see me. I don't have advantage.
Correct. They did like look and see the three of you. The only one they didn't see is Kiva. It hits, and that's for
Back 10
10
piercing.
damage.
Nice.
Okay. Next is that one who is going to, with almost incredible speed, or I actually don't know if you wanted to
Infantry
move in.
also,
Yeah, okay.
By the way, and if possible, try to hide once I get there.
Yeah, you can
Can I do
bonus
that?
action hide. You have cunning action at this point, right? I think 2 rogue has the ability to bonus action hide. Level 2.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, roll stealth. You feel like you're pretty hidden. That's for sure. So, the one that was just shot at, it rushes with almost like inhuman speed out the door, and it's going to make a grapple against Mega. As it like almost, the way it moves is just extremely quickly, almost savagely, and it just like goes to put its arms around you and try and like dig its, you actually notice its nails are kind of looking like claws, and it like tries to dig in. Does not succeed on the grapple, and you kind of just like shrug it off as it like looks at you, and it, the look on its face is just, like I said, extreme pain. You almost see like tears start to run down its cheeks a little bit as it like tries to grapple, and then you kind of shrug it off a little bit. That's its.
You're playing Mega's game here.
Yeah. Of course, you're the first one. Yeah. Next is Baguglio. You just saw this creature like zoom out, like go incredibly fast and try and grapple Mega. Mega just shrugs it off and is like, no.
I am going to. Oh boy. Has Kiva turned and looked at the situation, or is she running, still walking in that direction?
You would have heard
mean,
Mega.
Yeah, at this point, she is like clocked what's going on. She has yet to decide what to do.
Okay.
The
The creature does look kind of hurt from that single bolt. Doesn't look you did some damage to it.
Joe is going to. He's gonna walk up to his buddy Mega, and he's going to make an attack with his spear. Or no, he's gonna use his dagger in melee range, so he has a plus instead of a +1.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know what this is actually gonna roll or not, but we'll see. Well, it should be a +3,
It should be a +3 because it's dagger.
and it did.
Plus
Okay,
1, plus
so
2.
yeah.
There you go.
we rolled a 10.
That, let me see, open that up, does not hit.
That does not hit. Okay,
Yeah.
and with my object interaction,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to. I would like to toss a single Pitten towards Kiva's feet just to like kind of, if she's like in a trance or something, maybe snap her back into reality.
Right.
Because I feel it's kind of weird that she's not fully engaged in this combat that's taking place. So I'm
Right.
just gonna like throw something at her feet, not trying to damage her or anything, but just like kind of like have her feel something.
No one else would know this, but Kiva, you're not in an actual trance, but you do feel a pull. Is all. Like you're not forced
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
but of course no one else would
I'm
know.
definitely weirded out by the fact that she's not full on turned this way and definitely gonna run. That's weirding me out a bit. So I'm gonna throw a small
She has
metal object.
priorities.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know if they're priorities or a spell. So I'm gonna throw
It's true.
a light
light
metal
metal
object
object.
at your feet, hoping that it'll just kind of like make you realize that there's some shit going down, and I'm within melee range of a thing that I just missed.
So yeah, you miss and then
yeah,
kind of like
she's-
hug a little bit at your feet.
She's definitely gonna like clock it, and so she can like tell what's going on.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
She's gonna look in your direction.
So next
And
is
that's my whole turn.
Kiva.
Ha. So this is something that may just be flavor, may be important. But in my starry form, I do radiate 10 feet of light around me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It
Kind of
is
just a little flavor.
it
but-
is daytime, but that
Mhm.
actually is really helpful for nighttime maps.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember that for sure.
That's just as a
Cool.
let
Yeah.
you know, as a fun
Yeah.
fact.
The stars
a little
kind of
tidbit there.
shed a lot of light.
Yeah. Kiva wants to do a quick arcana check on these creatures just to like see if she can recognize them, or like see if maybe they're like charmed, enchanted, maybe if like something she can do to like
Sure.
like just to kind of get an idea of what's going on.
Roll Arcana.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I like
Um,
it.
They seem, from an Arcana, you can tell that they seem to be essentially magic made monstrosities almost. They were certain forms of magic, whatever was kind of seeping around, whatever is around you seem to have affected them adversely, and they don't seem to be in full control, which is why they seem to look like they're in such pain. You can't quite tell like what that means exactly, but you can glean that they're not, magic is making them not fully in control of what they're doing.
Right. Okay. There it is. All right. So I clock this, and I just kind of make like a note of that. I am going to cast this is a great reason to take this spell. I am going to cast Entangle, specifically on this
That one?
guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for Entangle, I believe they have to make a strength
right? Yeah.
check. Yeah, let me pull it up here just so we can all be on the same page.
It's an area, so Mega might
It's
have to.
Is Entangle something that, let me see.
did that pop up here?
I mean,
Wait a
she
sec.
could cast it where he starts and backwards.
Why
She wouldn't
isn't it doing
necessarily have
anything?
to catch him.
Spells, Entangle.
It's a radius something, so she'd need line of effect.
20-foot square. Grips and fits her from the ground.
Okay.
So it would be, yeah. A point within
Yeah, a
range.
creature in this area, so it's just one creature. Must succeed on a strength saving throw. So it's not everybody; it's just the one that I
Pretty
choose.
sure it is everybody.
It's any, by a creature, I believe it means like any creature.
Yeah, just a creature.
if you are a
that
creature
is
that
within the
exists.
area.
But you,
Mm.
so you could
Mega
kind of,
doesn't exist.
you could kind of cast it back in the corner over here.
Yeah,
Draw
I can
square.
kind of cast it
Yeah,
like that,
like that,
and cut y'all out of
and
it.
get both. So they have to make
yeah.
2 strengths. They have to make a strength save each.
Or be restrained.
First one's only 10, so the first one up front's gonna fail. The one in the back is a 12.
That makes it so it
Okay,
saves.
yeah.
Because the save is 12.
If it beats it, it beats it.
Wait, don't players win ties?
Not 5e. 5e is a meets it, you
No.
beat it. It meets it beats it rule.
Meets it, it beats it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the
Little less
front is entangled
generous.
with the one in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. But then that whole area then becomes difficult terrain.
Correct.
So their speed is cut in half while they're there.
And I can do this little.
So yeah,
This
as
icon.
Kiva casts this, some of the stars fly out from her dragon claws and turn into like a rope of sorts, and wrap around the one and kind of twist and turn and kind of make these different shaped constellations on the ground.
Nice. And does like the ground kind of have some of the stars in it too, almost like where you would walk as far as the difficult terrain goes?
Yeah, there's like these big like clusters of like connected stars in like constellation patterns and like other kind of just like these glowing orbs just kind of around.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and that's Kiva's turn.
Okay, so next is this guy in the back. It's gonna go. He has how much movement you got? Has that much, so that's in half. 5, 10. He has to make an acrobatics check because he's going through a very small area. He succeeds with a 21. He's going to kind of, he's here, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20. And he's going to try and do what he did to Mega. He's going to try and grapple as he kind of like before, almost ferally climbs over the one that's restrained, kind of going as fast as it can, an almost superhuman speed around, and then just kind of almost leaping as he goes around the one in the door, trying to grab onto Spaguglio.
10.
Okay, that is a 11. So you are grappled and you take 5 points of piercing damage.
Oh, he hit me?
Yes.
He hit me?
Yes.
I'm gonna rebuke him.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna hellish rebuke. Okay, so first I take 5 points of damage.
Correct.
Piercing damage. Okay, so brings me down to 12. I am gonna hellish rebuke him. And hellish rebuke is 2d10 fire damage.
Do it. I don't think there's a save, right?
2d10?
If you get hit.
The creature must make a dex
Oh, it's a
save.
dex save.
It
Nice.
takes 2d10 on a half as much on a.
That's a fail. I will tell you right now, there's a
It's a
fail
D-
on that.
It's a 13 that it had to hit. I don't know what it
I
hit.
can
don't
tell
have the
you that
combat
it did
tracker.
not hit a
Okay.
13.
Okay. So it takes 4 damage.
Nice.
Nice.
4
A whole
fire
4.
damage.
As its claws kind of sink into you as it grapples, your hand kind of comes up and does like a little like flourish, and
Yeah.
it kind of like a little bit of flame whisks across its right shoulder, and it looks a little bit singed. It's a little.
To hell with you!
Nice. Next is Mega. In front of you is a restrained creature that tried to grapple you, and the other one just attacked Spaguglio.
I'm assuming it also
Oh.
restrained me or grappled me or
You're
whatever.
grappled.
Yeah.
Which is different than restrained.
Yeah. It's bad.
Mega sees him. Mega sees the other. Mega sees the starry vines kind of like wrap around the one in front of him.
Mhm.
Then he sees the one like grab onto Spaguglio, and he's like, "Oh no, that's not gonna work." Oh, it will rage,
Okay. Rage.
and then Mega will reckless attack. So starting at second level, I can throw aside all concern for defense. attack with fierce desperation. When I make my first attack, I get advantage.
Yes, you do. And they
Or
get
attack rolls
advantage
using
against
strength.
you.
Then they get advantage against me until my next turn.
Correct.
So I'm looking at this guy, and I am going to
Throw the arrow on you to tell you that, to say that you're raged. That way we know.
Okay. And where's my inventory?
You're attacking the one that attacks Guglio first? Or the one that attacked Guglio? Not first,
I'm
but
taking the one that attacks Spaguglio, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Because he hurt my buddy, so he's got to pay.
He's got to pay.
See, he's not wrapped up in like starry vines. Okay. So I'm going to attack with advantage.
With advantage. That hits.
And I need to add 2 for my rage. Don't get to add anything for the reckless attack. That was just the advantage.
Nice.
Or 9.
Nice. As you kind of slam down with your mace, it's starting to look rather hurt. As it's digging into Squooglio, you kind of turn to it and kind of smack it on the side of its arm, and you almost hear kind of a as it kind of cracks in a little bit, and it's looking rather hurt. And we have top of the round. Frialis, hidden away in the trees.
I'm gonna go ahead and while I'm still hidden, I'm going to fire off at the one in front of Mega again.
Yeah.
Does Crealis, is that the one that's entangled?
Yeah, so it's advantage
I'm also hidden
both
from
ways,
it,
yeah.
so-
So we would have double advantage. That doesn't actually exist.
Double advantage if that was a thing, but it's not. Oh well.
It hits,
Nice.
and you get sneak attack. For multiple reasons.
Oh, it's definitely dead. Unless Dins rolls all ones.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Even then, maybe. He already hit it
I'm
once.
just checking to see how much I get for sneak attack.
I think it's 1d6 at level 2.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add a d6. 11 piercing.
It is.
That's gotta be dead.
You do your shot from the trees, kind of shoot down on it, and it just kind of goes right through its head, and it kind of falls over dead in the stars, as the stars almost kind of engulf its body as it falls into the difficult terrain, kind of surround it.
And then I'm going to, just kind of flutter over to be, about 20 feet up, just to make sure that I can see them and I'm out of harm's way.
Gotcha.
Over here.
How high does that put you? So you're 20 feet in the air, and then you're just right up there. Gotcha.
I think you mixed up your tokens.
I
though.
did mix up my tokens,
Okay.
but just flip-flop their initiative. I had the wrong
Okay.
one go
No,
first. Yeah.
that's fine. I was
Yeah.
just like, wait, how is he getting to go
Yeah.
before me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Flip-flopped. So, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend. So
Googles
next would be Spooglio, yeah.
is gonna. He's gonna try to booming blade dagger this guy
Get him.
and see what happens. Or I guess I can roll with this.
Grapple doesn't do anything to you. It's just,
Movement.
yeah, there's
Mostly
nothing. Just movement speed. There's no, like, advantage, disadvantage. You have a normal attack against him.
Not yet.
That's a crit.
Do it. Do the damage.
That's a crit with booming blade. Okay, so the damage on my what's booming blade do? Booming blade is
D8.
1d8, so it's going to be 2d8 plus my dagger, which was 1d4. So 2d8 and 2d4.
Nice.
Okay, so yeah, it is. I just want to double check the booming blade was double for damage, but yeah, it 100% is.
It should be because
Yeah.
it's a dice.
It's a dice, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's the same with Paladin's crit, same with sneak attack, or Paladin smite, same
Yeah.
with sneak attack, you double the damage.
So whatever I roll plus 1.
double the dice.
5, 6,
all the dice
7, 8, 9, 11, 12.
Okay. The thing that just kind of dug its claws into you, you kind of pull out your dagger, you do a little spell, and your dagger gets like wreathed in thunderous energy. You kind of stab right into it. The energy releases, and the creature just falls over back dead and releases you. You almost like blow a hole through its. Yeah.
And don't forget, I'm assuming it would willingly move 5 feet backwards if it's dead, so I blow it back.
So it blows back into the wall slightly. Sure, we'll do that.
Yeah.
As
For
it starts to
dramatic
move,
effect.
it actually blows back and it hits up against the wall. Dead. And we're out of combat. At the very end of combat, you do actually hear a little bit more rustling from the back as someone actually, in a non-screaming voice, like, is it okay to come out? From the back room over here, which I think only one of you can see. Let me remove the tokens real quick.
But Guglio says to Mega,
Yeah.
Stay on guard.
Stay on
Make them come
target.
out with their hands above their head where we can see them.
Mega's gonna go.
Oh, can you not move through? Sorry, that's my bad. If you want to move into the house, just let me know. The door might not be big
move.
enough.
I wanted to move like one more in,
Okay.
and then Mega will say, "If you're friendly, come out with your hands where I can see him." He's still got his mace ready to go.
Are we still kind of in combat in terms of like a turn order
Nope.
type? Can I ready an action? Is that a thing?
Sure.
I definitely want to ready throwing a dagger at something that looks like it's going to attack him.
What do you consider looks like it's going to attack him?
Like, if he grabs his weapon, I'm gonna throw a dagger. That's gonna be the trigger. If Mega grabs his weapon,
Mega's already holding his weapon.
if he's gonna use his weapon, I'm throwing a dagger.
Okay. At that moment, the door kind of opens up, and out. Out, you see a short wood elf, probably around 5'5", with short blonde hair, dark blue eyes, and a small scar on his right cheek. Kind of stumble out. He's in just, your normal everyday clothes, but a little bit more on the ragged. And he kind of like, with his hands up, comes towards you and is like, "Thank you so much. I've been stuck in here for so long. Thank you so much. I don't know what happened. People of this town seem to have turned to something. I don't quite understand what happened."
Can I see him?
Yeah. Everyone that can't,
Insight.
sure, I'll do an insight check. Everyone that can't see him is hearing this, though. Whether you care or not, it's up to you. But it is happening.
4. I know nothing. He is a door.
He is a door.
What's your name? Mega, find out his name.
Varys Hanali. Traveling to this town from the town of Olenara to try and, help out. There's a terrible tragedy. His hands are still up in the air, by the way. He's
from
actually
where?
still like this. Olenora.
Mega will put the mace on his belt loop, and Bill will be like, "Put your hands down now."
Okay.
I'm gonna raise my weapon as he puts his back.
And his hands go right back up.
I'm gonna be like, "This is an odd place to be stumbling around."
Well, you knew that this place was attacked a very long time. Well, not that long, but attacked a little while ago. I was trying to help maybe the people out. I got stuck here. Everyone seemed to have changed. I don't quite understand why I didn't change, but I haven't. I don't feel like anything different. This purple mist started happening, screams from the town center, and then out of nowhere, just this rift opened up. Everyone seemed to
Where's
start to
your
change.
weapon?
My weapon? I don't have one. I'm not a fighter. I just wanted to help rebuild.
Guglio is not buying this.
Okay.
Mega considers that Spaguglio has this in hand. But he's gonna like look around inside this house.
Alright, do an investigation check. There seems to be nothing else throughout the house except you do find 40 gold pieces kind of strewn around.
Guglio does not break eye contact with this guy or put down his weapon.
His hands are still up and then he's shaking and he's kind of
And-
just being like, please, I mean
And he-
no harm.
He looks to his compatriots over there who are over there, and he says,
Yeah, we're over
One of
there
you-
because
one of
I
you
like
not-
Kiva's staying in tune with this. She's not moving anywhere.
one of you tie his hands.
The only people in there are the two of you.
You two are hearing it. Yeah, those two are hearing it. They have
Yeah.
no
I'm
clue what he
hearing
looks
it.
like or anything.
Kiva's not
Yeah.
Kiva's not gonna respond at all. Like she responded when there was danger, but like she's a little nervous about maybe breaking contact with this like book and stuff. So she's kind of just gonna stay there, maybe like look at Crealis and be like, I don't know what he needs.
Crealis sort of
As Spaguglio's been, has been talking to this guy, Mega would, rummaged around, was looking around, pocketed the money he found.
Of course.
And then, so he's kind of picking up on what Spaguglio is trying to do here. So Mega's going to come up and grab him by the front of his shirt and lean in and be like, no, what are you really doing here?
Do an intimidation check.
I was gonna say that sounds intimidating.
I swear he's kind of like getting lifted up. I swear I was just here to help. I was sent from Olanara.
Mega,
Nora.
Mega,
Sorry.
do you have any rope?
Everyone has.
Crealis
does,
kind of
yeah.
like is
So-
fluttered over and is peering in through the door. What's
I'm
the
go-
person look like?
A half. or
He's
an
a
elf,
short
right?
wood
You
elf.
said?
He looks like a wood elf. He has the normal pointy ears, that the specific like dark beigeish skin tone that a wood elf tends to have. Dark blue eyes,
Yeah.
short hair, and a scar on his right cheek.
I am going to instruct Mega how to tie his hands up like this, specifically so he can't do any semantic things with his hands.
Somatic, not semantic.
Semantics.
Either or. I don't care. I don't want him doing nothing
Sims.
with his hands.
That's just semantics that you're saying. So
yeah. Somatic component, no. He's gonna tie his hands up like this
Right.
so that he can't even do things.
and,
Mega doesn't think that that's necessary
Yeah.
at this point.
you kind of
Mega's,
like that.
Mega's also far more trusting than Spaguglio is.
Have you dropped him at this point? Is he no longer partially up in the air, like by the?
It's, when he's like, I'm not,
Yeah.
I don't have any, I'm not here to do anything. He'll, put on his normal, like, kind of, he'll smile, relax, put him back down,
He,
and he'd be like, all right.
he lowers his hands a little bit, but not much, because he still has a gnome with a weapon brandish behind you, and it's like, can you? Can I maybe? I don't know. I don't want to be locked in this cupboard any longer. Do you mind any longer? Can I stick with you till we leave town? Can I?
Mega, Spaguglio, we should probably keep moving.
Come with us.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
Hands
can come with.
gladly, I'll keep them up. I don't care. It's fine. I will keep my hands where you can see them. I just don't want to be in this cupboard anymore. It's scary in here.
Is there anything in the cupboard?
Contents of cupboard include one half elf.
Yeah, there's nothing much.
No.
You do see like
He's a wood elf.
Sorry, wood elf. Sorry.
you do see like some partially eaten food that kind of gives you an idea that it's been a little bit long that he's been in there. Not maybe like a tremendous amount of time, but like he's eaten.
He's been here long enough to eat?
Yes.
That would make sense if those two magical creatures were like rummaging around trying to get at him in the cupboard. You know, if they couldn't get the like doing the you know, hanging on the door but not trying to get it open. It's conceivable that he could have been in there long enough to like nibble on something.
I'm going now that I'm in the house.
Mhm.
I want to use detect
I got
magic
you.
again.
Okay. There seems to be no magical items around you. The entire area is still just like.
So where
singing
were the
with magic
pinpoints?
almost. The pinpoints were the two bodies.
Okay, the two dead things.
Yeah.
I don't see anything magical on Buddy Boy over there.
Nope.
I put my weapon away and I don't break eye contact.
He lowers your hand. He lowers his hands with your weapons and just kind of puts them off to the side, making sure they're visible, not in any pockets or anything. His clothing is like shirt, pants, kind of ragged. Both of them are a little bit on the ragged side. You know, traditional village attire.
Buguglio says,
Oh.
out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mega.
Mega's taking all this in, and he's met his fair share of normal village people, and he's gonna be like, I'm sorry, what was your name again to the wood elf?
His name, he says, Varys Hanali.
Eris. So when you came here to help, what did you have in mind as far as helping? You don't look like you have any weapons. You don't look like you are worth much in a fight. Offense.
I was informed that I would help maybe just do a little bit of rebuilding. I'm not the best carpenter, but my sister is the guard of Olenara, and she knows that I'm a bit of a coward, and since they've been having some rough times, she wanted to send me away to just do some rebuilding somewhere. Since as far as everyone else knew, nothing bad else. Like what happened to Hartrim was already over. She wanted to get me away from the fight, not in the middle of it in the cupboard.
Where's your hammer?
He pulls out a little from like his back pocket, like a little small carpenter's hammer. This is the only thing that
Buguglio walks out. He doesn't care anymore.
Okay.
He's satisfied now.
Mega's gonna go down and try that lower door
Okay.
in the house.
You open it up, and there is just two beds. There's nothing. You don't find anything else fancy or anything like that.
That was ballsy.
You get the feeling. Yeah, there's like 5 creatures, just monster closet. Let's go. Yeah, there's nothing else seems to be in the house of note. Even in this little room over here, and all that, nothing. Yeah. Did you notice that on the desk in this
Right.
room, the papers do seem rather strewn, like very hastily thrown around? But that is all.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna grab just a handful of the papers
Sure,
as I walk out.
sure. And you grab a handful, and then you walk out here. Now you can control your character. Wait a minute, you're on top of each other. There you go.
Just snack on as you walk.
Snack on some papers.
When he gets out, he's gonna basically take the handful of papers and hold them out to Spaguglio and be like, you make anything of this?
Can I make anything of that?
Do a investigation check.
Investigation is +1, 18.
Nice. They seem to just be random notes back and forth between, like, they just seem to be random, I guess, like, some shopping lists, some to-do things about the rebuilding of Hartrim. Just, you get the idea that this house on the side might have been from someone that was starting to organize the rebuilding. So they look like maybe some more building plans. Maybe this place needs to be repaired really quickly. This fire needs to be put out because it seems to be raging for a while. Or you even see
I just
one
kind of
note.
throw them.
Uh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You even
One
see one
note of
note
what?
that says this fire was put out successfully. Like things were turning up.
I throw them to Buddy back there. I'm like, that'll probably help you.
He just kind of looks at them and like picks them up. Oh, I just these seem to be about the rebuilding of Harterim. I don't want to be dark, but I'm pretty sure that this is not really going to be happening. I don't know if you look around.
I've seen worse.
I bet
Sounds worse.
bet
Let's
you have.
go.
Okay. Okay. And he just kind of follows behind. And now I would like everyone to go over to house.
Oos.
Oops. I need to add various.
You might want to check Discord.
I might want to check Discord. Okay. Sure.
I feel like this is the spot.
Yeah. So I believe we're going to be calling it a little bit early there. We're going to be, it's actually really not that old early. We normally want to call it 10:30. So it's a great spot. Halfway through Harterim, we will, Harterim, you see how it's spelled.
Her Durgan.
Herdurgan. Yeah, we're going to call it there. And we'll be back in a couple weeks to do some more of this. Figure out exactly what happened in this town. See what's up with the book. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's pretty normal. This is how everyone lives, right?
It's exactly the way I've
Nothing
always
happened.
seen it.
Yeah. It's
I
perfectly.
swear,
the
if that
way.
guy stabs me in the back, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna call you.
Anyway,
I'll be impressed if you get stabbed in the back with a hammer.
that'd be pretty great.
Well, I mean, there's a claw in.
It's
not a builder's hammer. No,
it's a
not. That's
builder's hammer.
bolting
Yeah, yeah.
Builder's hammer is
Who doesn't know
flat.
that?
little head.
He did see the hammer though,
Yeah.
so he would have
Well,
known there was no
doesn't
claw
mean
on the
that
back.
doesn't mean he doesn't have anything else on him.
It's true. You never know. Anyway, that's
for
gonna do
another-
it. Stream.
I meant figuratively, like just screws me over in general, but
All you guys have a great rest of your night, and thanks everyone for stopping by. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.